Offense! Kiddies! Kiddies! Kiddies!
We're going to offense.
It means more than anything this game to play for the person next to you. Everyone does their job tonight. It's a shutout. Easy.
This evening, it's a Class 5A Northern Conference opener as the North Hills Indians host the Fox Chapel Foxes. Now let's head out to Martirelli Stadium and join Corey Campano and Steve Nagler for all the action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome from Martirelli Stadium in North Hills. The Fox Chapel Foxes on the road to face the North Hills Indians in Week 1. I'm Corey Campano, Steve Nagler with me, Shelby Cassesi on the field tonight for the updates. And, Steve, we've got an interesting matchup here this evening, basically because we've got two teams that had completely opposite Week 0s a week ago.
They sure did. The Fox Chapel Foxes, not a great start in 2019. It wasn't a great year in 2018 either. They were 2-8 overall in the Northern Conference, 1-6 in conference. They had wins against Hampton and Connellsville, but they got off to a really rough start in Week 0. 45-0 loss at the hands of Peters Township, in what will be a very good Peters Township team, by the way. They just couldn't get anything going offensively. 14 total yards of offense, only 1 yard of rushing offense. And we talked to Coach Lochran. He said it just was not a good week for them. Too many mental mistakes, alignment issues, assignment details needing to improve. They actually have moved around some players into different positions, Corey, and so we'll see if any of that will have any effect on maybe a better performance here today. Shane Susnack only threw the ball 10 times, completed 3 passes for 13 yards. They do get Alex Wecht back. That's going to be a huge return for them on defense especially. He is one of the best defensive backs in WPIL. He is a playmaker. Last year, 73 tackles in 2018 and was an honorable mention all-conference selection. Other side of the spectrum, under head coach Pat Carey, a great start for the North Hills Indians. They defeated Butler on the road 46-21. It was a slow start. They were trailing 7-0 after the first quarter, but they outscored Butler 19-0 in the second quarter and went on to win by those 25 points. North Hills 6-5 last year, 5-2 in the Northern Conference. They have made the playoffs in 5 of their last 6 seasons, but really nothing to show in terms of much in the way of getting deep into the playoffs or titles. They lost to Penn Trafford 42-7 in the first round last year. This is a team, Corey, that really likes to keep the ball on the ground. 5 rushing touchdowns in Week 0 in that 46-21 win over Butler. 2 100-yard rushers in Week 1. Curtis Foskey, 108 yards rushing and a touchdown. Tom McDonough, who's a speedster track guy in the WPIL, 101 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. And senior Dylan Pauling only had to throw the ball 5 times, but he ran the ball in on the ground 3 times himself.
We'll see a lot of ground game here, I think, on each side. You mentioned earlier, Steve, that head coach Tom Lochran, he's kind of switching things up on the Fox Chapel side. He's looking to see who can play where. It's still early on. Week 0, not as important of a game, certainly not the way that they wanted to start, but he even mentioned, Coach Loughran did, that they're going to have to switch some things up, and he's lucky to have Dylan Wecht back. They feels like they take this loss like they would any other. This is just another loss. Let's move on from it. The focus is North Hills.
Well, and they have some playmakers on the offensive side of the football. We talked about Susnak. He's coming back off a very productive junior campaign. He completed 58% of his passes last year, over 1,100 yards passing and 8 touchdowns. And they have Sam Brown, who is back. He is the guy that's going to carry the load on the ground for the Foxes in 2018, 530 yards of rushing and 7 touchdowns.
And we have the North Hills band out on the field right now, but first we're going to shift it down to Shelby Cassesi for her first update.
Good evening to you, gentlemen. Great to be back here on the sidelines for another season. In terms of these two teams here tonight, North Hills and Fox Chapel, the past couple of years couldn't be much different between the two teams. In 2017, North Hills, who really has been a powerhouse in the WPIAL, missed the playoffs and then returned in 2018 with a 6-4 record and lost in the first round to Penn Trafford. Now we're really looking for improvement again on last year's record, and they were off to a good start in week 0, beating Butler. Now Fox Chapel, on the other hand, made it to the playoffs in 2017, missed in 2018 with a 2-8 record, and now, fortunately for them, they have 7 returners on offense this season, 5 on the offensive line, and a little bit of rust still need to be shaken up for that offense. They lost to Peters Township last week, 45-0. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Shelby. Good stuff there, and I think that's a perfect little transition to get us started here as the North Hills band comes to life. We saw quite a different atmosphere, I thought, Steve, when we walked down on the field earlier, too. It's kind of lackadaisical on Fox Chapel. They it almost feels like, you hate to say it, but they've been here before with a loss. This is just something they need to try and rebound off of, need to respond off of. On the other side, North Hills, Pat Carey talked to us a lot, talked to everybody around the field a lot, and it was kind of just business as usual for North Hills during their warm-ups. They were very organized.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pat Carey is probably pretty excited, not only by how the season started with that 46-21 win on the road against Butler, but he got done what he wanted to get done. This is a team, like we talked about, they want to keep the ball on the ground. You're going to see 3 running backs in Curtis Foskey, Tom McDonough, and Tyler Tomasic. Tomasic had the most yards on the ground of any running back returning from 2018 for this new North Hills Indians team, but he only had 36 yards on the ground last week. They love running the football, and if they get on the board early, it's a team that's tough to beat because of the fact that they love to kind of ground and pound you.
Can play pretty well against the run on the defensive side of the football as well. The atmosphere is phenomenal here at Martirelli Stadium. Visiting Fox Chapel have traveled pretty well, but on this home side, the North Hills Indian faithful, it is packed to the brim, and what a classic venue for us to have here on week 1.
Well, and this is one of the best bands in the WPIL. I always love coming to North Hills, partially to listen to the band. I mean, you can see them. They're numerous, and they do a great job. And even before the game, they played Renegade, which was outstanding.
Yeah, that really kind of got the crowd set. They played Renegade before the national anthem, so that kind of lets you know what the feeling is here for North Hills football. They're just about to get introduced and run out of the tunnel there. The classic locker room look from just behind the goalpost here at Martirelli Stadium. Let's talk on the other side just a little bit. Coach Tom Loughran, 32 seasons at South Park at 2 WPIAL titles. This, as he comes into Fox Chapel, a little bit of a different story as he's looked for success more than found it. This is 5th season with the Foxes. Bad season last year, but a different mindset coming into this one, and tough way to start last week, but they're going to try and regroup from that.
Well, it's nice. It's nice having a quarterback that's a senior that got pretty much all the playing time under center as a junior. You know, we talked about it for Shane Susnak. Decent year, not great, but not terrible. Again, he threw for over 1,100 yards and completed 58% of his passes. But you like to have that experienced signal caller that knows the offense, and that's exactly what Tom Loughran said about Shane Susnak. He said he's very smart. He always kind of knows what we want to call as far as offensive plays, and he's very good at getting in that huddle, getting everybody on that same page, and executing. That's what it's going to come down to, Corey. It's going to come down to execution. They're going against another really good team in North Hills. And this Northern Conference, just in general, not easy. It is a very, very good conference from top to bottom.
Around the Northern Conference tonight, Kiski and Shaler, Hampton and Armstrong, two good matchups there. And then out of conference with a couple teams from the Northern, Mars will take on Moon, Penn Hills will take on Latrobe. We'll try and keep you updated, at least on the Northern Conference side of things. But for me personally, a great honor to be with you here, Steve, tonight. First video game here, week one, first conference video game of the year, and it's just a great feeling to have WPIAL football back again.
Well, and you couldn't get a better night for it. The temperatures are really uncommon for this time of year. As game time kickoff, we're going to have 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies, and just the conditions couldn't be better. Not real humid, just a beautiful night for football.
Fox Chapel on the far side. North Hills just ran on the near side. We'll have kickoff shortly when we return. It's the video game of the week on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
A personalized education tailored to your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
As a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university, Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
Back from Martirelli Stadium here, coin toss just commenced. The North Hills Indians, the home squad, won the toss, elect to receive. The Fox Chapel Foxes will be kicking off from right to left. Steve Nagler, what is got to be the important thing, not so much necessarily for North Hills who's getting the football, but Fox Chapel on the other end, they cannot start like last week.
No, they can't. They're going to have to try to establish themselves defensively in this first drive. It's never easy because you know what's coming. The North Hills Indians are going to run the football first and foremost. Maybe they'll throw early to maybe open up some running lanes, or maybe if they see the Fox Chapel Foxes defensively crowding the line of scrimmage. But you're going to have to control that running attack from the quarterback position in Dylan Pauling, from Tyler Tomasic to Tommy McDonough, Curtis Foskey. They've got a lot of weapons. And so Fox Chapel's really going to have to try to lock things down defensively early on because, again, they don't want to fall behind this North Hills Indians team.
That's Mike Tarasi out there who will do the kicking here. Fox Chapel, a couple different kickers and punters that we could see in the rotation, but the junior, 6'2", 165-pound kicker, Mike Tarasi, will do the honors there. And back deep to return from North Hills, who else would you expect besides Tyler Tomasic and Tom McDonough? That terrific rushing combo, and really Curtis Foskey might be back there once in a while as well. North Hills, a ton of guys that can run the football. It is placed on the left hash at the 40-yard line. Conference football in the WPIAL off again. Tomasic with the kick, and that's a return there by McDonough. McDonough, hole on the right side, gets up across the 25-yard line and is brought down there near the 30. Nice tackle on the far sideline as well, made there by Samson Schulter. And North Hills will set up shop, Steve.
Let's take a look at the North Hills Indians offense. Dylan Pauling, the senior, wins the starting quarterback position. In the backfield with Pauling will be Tomasic, Tommy McDonough, and Curtis Foskey. And Damon Thompson, the senior tight end. The wideout will be Luke Hulbert, and we'll run down the offensive line after this first play.
North Hills will open up in the gun. That's Dylan Pauling. Man to his left is Foskey. And in motion, McDonough. Give to Foskey off that right side. A little bit of a seam as he gets up across the 30, near the 35-yard line there. A modest gain on first down in the first play for the Indians. Call it 5.
Matt Hummel, the junior, is the left tackle for this Indians offensive line. Chris Kopp, a sophomore, and then left guard. David Lucas, the senior, is a center. Right guard, Nick Peterson, the junior, and Ronnie Novozadeliak, the senior right tackle.
Again, in the gun, one receiver split right, and that 3 running back set all in the backfield. They'll motion all game as Pauling keeps it himself this time up near first down yardage. I think he's going to be just shy. As you see a dog pile there, and ref's going to spot that ball at the 39, but a 4-yard pickup for Pauling.
And we'll see Pauling running the ball out of what looks like a wildcat formation at times. And that time he had Curtis Foskey in the backfield with him. And first big opportunity defensively for the Fox Chapel Foxes on 3rd and 1 from the 39.
This is very big. And again, Dylan Pauling will come out in the gun, motioning left to right. A little bit of a miscommunication as they line up as Hulbert. 6 on the play clock. Pauling with that hard count, gets it off, gives to Foskey. Foskey, little stutter step and picks up the first down with ease. Up to the 44-yard line, move the sticks for the Indians, and a nice first drive so far.
Well, we talked about how dynamic these running backs are, and they're so different in what they bring to the table. Curtis Foskey, and a shorter, a little more stout, strong runner between the tackles. Tommy McDonough, the senior, he is the home run hitter. He's a track guy in the WPIL. He is lightning fast, so it's fun to watch the difference in these running backs.
Split wide this time is Derek Muha, and in motion from left to right, Tomazic. Tomazic gets it and goes that way, and a nice job by Fox Chapel to pursuit to the ball carrier. Tomazic really didn't have any room on that right sideline, a short pickup.
Well, Tomazic kind of running almost a jet sweep type of formation that time. And as you mentioned, Fox Chapel doing a pretty good job of stringing that play out, kind of using the far sideline as an extra defender.
Can't believe, honestly, Steve, that he got 3 out of that. Nevertheless, 2nd and 7 for the Indians. Pauling mans the gun. There's Tomazic in motion. Give to Foskey. Foskey with a big hole up across midfield and finally brought down there on the back by Rogalski. Nice little pickup there from Foskey as he got to the 48-yard line. It'll set up 3rd down and 2.
This is exactly what Pat Carey wants from his offense. 3rd and short. If you can't get the first down on the first 2 plays, 3rd and short, and with this running attack, this is a team that probably will go for it its share of times on 4th and short if they can't convert on 3rd down.
Nearing 9 minutes in this first quarter. Pauling with Foskey to his right this time. There goes Tomazic. Pauling looks that way, fakes the pitch on the keeper. It's going to be close. I think he got it just enough. It was a good read defensively by Fox Chapel. In the backfield was Golembuski. And that ball is right at the first down 6. They won't even measure it. First down signaled for the Indians.
Good run by Pauling, and he was contacted by Golembuski in the backfield. The 6-foot, 215-pound junior just could not bring down Pauling before he was able to scratch for the first down. He got it by about the nose of the football.
Also, probably the most interesting depth chart you will see out of North Hills. They only list one receiver. It's Luke Hulbert or Tim Sudo. Don't even line up with 2. There's always one split wide in this same wildcat type. But as I say that, Pauling will throw, and he had a man on that far side. He just overshot him. That was Hulbert. One-on-one coverage on the outside, Steve. He was wide open.
I love that play call by Pat Carey and the offensive coaching staff. What you've done is you have softened this Fox Chapel defense just by getting a couple of first downs on the ground. Everybody in the stadium's thinking they're going to run it again on first down, and Pauling just overshoots Hulbert.
Only threw 5 passes last week, completed 1 of them for 13 yards, did his work on the ground. He's 0 for 1 here tonight. 2nd and 10 from the 46. Pitch goes to the left, split wide, and that is read very well in the backfield. Coming up from the defensive back position, Lorenzo Jenkins makes the hit on McDonough. He had nowhere to go, a loss of 3.
Well, they ran that pseudo jet sweep. It's a little bit of a different formation to the left side this time. They've run it a couple times to the right side, and as you saw in that replay, Lorenzo Jenkins, the sophomore, 6 foot 2 inches tall, 150 pounds, able to break up that play by getting good penetration from the right side of the defense.
Clock keeps rolling. We're at 7:40 and counting in this first quarter. Here we go, 3rd and 13. Pauling, pressure in his face, dodges a sack momentarily, floats one, and he has a man. Caught and getting enough for first down yardage is Tim Sudo. What a job in the backfield by Pauling. He was wrapped up in his own territory, escaped it and made the pass. That is a beautiful connection for the Indians.
Well, we saw the elusiveness of Pauling when he was able to get the first down on a 3rd and 2. This time he gets out of a tackle, and just as he's ready to get sacked by Sam Brown, able to get rid of it, and a nice catch on the outside by Tim Sudo.
That contact in the backfield by the man we talked about in pregame, Alex Wecht, he just couldn't wrap him up. Beautiful play by Dylan Pauling. 1st and 10 now from the 33. Indians go to work. There goes McDonough. Fake. Pauling's going to throw again. Lofts one up into coverage, and it's over the head of everyone. Incomplete, but a safe throw, and an incompletion will bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, he's looking out there for running back Tyler Tomasic, and another good play by the sophomore Lorenzo Jenkins. We've called his name on a couple of occasions. He had that tackle for loss a couple plays ago. That time, really good coverage in the defensive secondary.
Jenkins on that near side closest to us, and we saw, Steve, maybe the first 6 plays go right, and now it's starting to shift this way a bit, and they might go back away from Jenkins. 2nd and 10. There's McDonough in motion. Little misdirection, give to Tomasic. Stutter step across the 30, and a nice gain up to about the 28-yard line, call it 5. And that's going to be 3rd and 5 now coming for the Indians, another chance to convert.
Tomasic, you're going to see the elusiveness and the misdirection. Everything going left, they bring kind of in a scissors play. They bring Tomasic underneath, and he just puts the foot in the ground, able to avoid a defender in that defensive secondary, and he gets 6 yards on 2nd down.
Receiver split left near us is Muha. Pauling in the gun. They have 3rd and 3 on the scoreboard. It's a little longer than that. Pauling, give up the middle. Foskey with a big hole, and he runs into a couple Foxes near the sticks, but that second effort on the ground from Curtis Foskey, that's going to be enough for the first down. The Indians just keep converting.
Curtis Foskey is a big, strong young man, and he is contacted at about the 24-yard line, and look at him drag tacklers. He's listed at 5'9", 205. I would bet everything in my pocket that he's going probably a little bit more than that, maybe 225, 230. He is tough to bring down, and he is a hard runner as well.
That north-south type style, and he picked it up there. 1st and 10 on the 22. Clock winding towards 6 minutes already in this first quarter. And we get a whistle before the play, our first stop of momentum for North Hills, and it's a timeout called by their head coach, Pat Carey.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion out there. Curtis Foskey wasn't sure in that formation where he was supposed to line up. Pat Carey saw that. Smart by him to realize that with some confusion he wanted to stop the play before it even began and talk to his offensive group. Good drive so far for this North Hills Indians team.
Reminder that some of the top athletes in the WPIAL are featured every week on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Log on to your website this fall and check out which athletes we are talking to. And one of those athletes, Steve, might be from this offensive squad of North Hills. They've got, 4 or 5 guys that we have mentioned already that, you talk about them in the pregame every week. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way where they don't get the type of touches you expect, but boy, do they mix it up.
Yeah, they do. They've got 3 outstanding running backs, as we've talked about. Pauling doing a good job running the football as well.
6:02 on the clock here, 1st and 10 from the 22. In motion this time is Tomazic to the right. Misdirection again. Pauling will keep it. Goes right side, and that was read the whole way by the Foxes. First man to make contact there was Maurice Sampson-Schulter. No gain, maybe one on the ground for Pauling.
Well, what makes this North Hills team so difficult is just all the movement in the misdirection. We've already seen it benefit the Indians on this drive on a couple of occasions. That time, Fox Chapel was not fooled.
We can see the play clock from where we are at. It's at 17 seconds. They jog the play on with 18, 19 seconds on. No rush whatsoever. This is North Hills football. Take your time, run the football, and then rely on your defense after that. Already nearing 5 minutes, 2nd and 10. This pitch comes left side. McDonough, the speedster, tries to get outside, cuts back now, up inside the 15, nearing the 10-yard line, drags a tackler with him, and then he's thrown down hard out of bounds by Justin Rice, but not before a pickup of 13 and a first down for the Indians.
Well, you have a running back with the speed of Tommy McDonough. You love running to the far side of the football field. That time the ball was snapped to the far hash, and boy, just his speed was able to create a lot of room for himself to run, and that has created a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line of the Foxes.
Long converting drive for the North Hills Indians thus far. 2 receivers split out right now. This time it's Sudo and Muha, and there's Tomazic in motion. Fake by Pauling. Pauling cuts it back, has a seam to the outside, and he'll get all the way in for the score. A 9-yard scamper for Dylan Pauling, and it's 6-0 Indians. What a drive there. 4:59 remaining in the first, and we finally see the Indians in the end zone.
Well, he got a good block. Watch right at the end of this play as he gets a great block from David Lucas, the center who had gotten downfield, able to get Pauling into the end zone, almost untouched, and that was a sterling drive.
That is Pauling that holds the kicks for North Hills, and on to kick for the Indians is Nate Saul, a 5'9" senior. Good snap, good hold. Saul's kick right down the middle. North Hills 7, Fox Chapel getting their first chance coming up. 4:59 remaining in the first. Excellent drive by the Indians, and now we'll see what they do on the other side. This will be extremely important to see how Fox Chapel responds here. We'll take a break before we come back for the Fox Chapel drive. It's the video game of the week here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
A personalized education tailored for your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
As a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university, Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
Martirelli Stadium, a 7-0 game. The North Hills Indians leading the Fox Chapel Foxes after a long scoring drive, and you saw a pooch kick towards the sideline there that was picked up by Chris Rogalski. Good field position here for the Foxes in their first drive, Steve Nagler.
Yeah, let's quickly take a look at how they're going to line up offensively. Shane Susnack, the senior quarterback, under center. He will have Sam Brown, another senior, as his main running back. Tight end, Ryan Crehan, he's a junior. Ben Wilk, Warner Macklin, and Lorenzo Jenkins are the 3 wideouts who run down the offensive line after this first play.
You heard it there, Susnack in the gun, little fake and a pitch out to the right. Some room there on the grab and first down yardage for the Foxes. A nice little pitch and catch to start their drive. And on the far side, I believe that was Nick McGriff.
On the left side, Tom Golembuski and Terry Love. Ryan Billings, the senior center. Ed Farrell and Caleb Kulikowski on the right side for this Fox Chapel offense.
My apologies, that was Macklin, Warner Macklin on the catch. Here come the Foxes. Susnick again with a little screen, and again, some room for Macklin. Macklin on that left sideline picks up 12 and another first down. Just simple offense here for the Foxes, and maybe this is what they need to get in a rhythm.
Well, I think that's a really great strategy by head coach Tom Loughran, especially after the long touchdown drive. He sees that the cornerback's playing way off.
Give up the middle. There's Sam Brown's first touch. Room for him as he rumbles over a couple Indians. Up to the 21-yard line, a gain of 12 for him. And this is not the Fox Chapel offense we saw last week. They gained 14 yards for the entire game. They've had two 12-yard plays back-to-back and quickly up on the ball. It's a give to Brown again, right side, and finally a play made by the Indians defensively. Coming up to make the hit was Tim Sudo after a short gain for Brown. Actually lost a couple.
Well, I really like the quick nature of this offense. They're getting the play called in from the sideline, and they are lining up and running the play. And that has kind of put the North Hills defense a little bit on their heels. It's been a really good response after the long touchdown drive to start this game by the Indians.
Here they go now with 10 on the play clock. Two receivers left, one to the right. Susnick will give up the middle. Brown dodges a tackler there, gets up near the 20, breaks another one. Brown up inside the 15 before he's brought down. Just kept the legs moving there and picked up a nice chunk.
Well, Brown, you'll see the way he runs. There's a nice forward lean in the way he runs. Shoulders forward, and it makes it really difficult to wrap him up as he runs through a couple of tackles en route to that 7-yard gain. And now they have third down and pretty manageable. Third down and 3 to go.
McDonough made the tackle on that play. 3rd and 3. Ball right at the 15-yard line. Susnick drops, gives up the middle. A little bit of a seam there. Plenty enough for the first down. Needed 3, got at least 4 on the ground there. Zidane Thomas, his first touch. And the Foxes have a 1st and goal.
Oh, they really like Zidane Thomas as he is able to get the necessary yardage for the first down. Needed 3, got 5. Just a sophomore. But you really like what he brings to the table to kind of complement Sam Brown.
Senior quarterback Shane Susnick manning the troops here. 15 and counting on the play clock for him. He'll survey left. And in the gun, snaps. Fakes the give this time. Looks for a throw across the middle, but he is walloped in the backfield. In for the sacks was Max Bademo, and Susnick's going to have to sit a play here. His helmet came off.
Well, Bademo, you'll see him busting through number 44 coming on the blitz from that middle inside linebacking position, and Susnick just did not see him in time, and big loss of 5 on the play.
For Fox Chapel, too, cannot have a linebacker in the middle go untouched. That never spells for good things. And now Fox Chapel will regroup for this play at least as we near 2 minutes in the first quarter. Into the game in the quarterback position now Justin Rice, the junior. A bunch set here right in the middle of the field for the Foxes. Man in motion. Give to Wecht. Wecht on the jet sweep. Had some room. Cuts it back, and he was tripped up as he nears the 10-yard line. So we'll go back to 3rd and goal from that original line of scrimmage at the 10.
A good job by Rice to come in and connect with Wecht. Well, you like to see him back in the lineup if you're Tom Loughran. Just the speed and quickness that he brings to the table, both offensively and defensively.
Tim Sudo on that defensive end position thought he got held that play, but there was no call. Big 3rd and goal for the Foxes. They were shut out last week, trying to change their fortune here. Susnick drops. Now he steps up, looks, he's going to take off and run. Gets inside the 5, runs over a man. Near the goal line. And the near side official's going to mark him just short. What an effort. On the first play back after his helmet was ripped off, Shane Susnick ran over 2 Indians before he got to the 1.
Yeah, Susnick, we'll see it on the replay here. He decides to pull this football down and take off. Good recognition there. Didn't see anything. And then you see the toughness of Susnick. You see a lot of quarterbacks at all levels that will go down fairly easy.
And a timeout's going to be taken here for North Hills. Fox Chapel didn't exactly look lined up yet either. 42 seconds left in this first quarter.
Well, this is a huge play.
Goal from the one.
I think they're saying it's 4th down from the one.
It is. It is. That's my mistake. Yeah, it was 3rd and goal from the 10.
That's right.
But if you're Fox Chapel, obviously this is a must-go.
Oh, yeah,
must
absolutely.
Go. You're not even thinking about 3.
And I'll tell you, Corey, this is such a big part of this game. I understand there's 42 seconds still to go in the first quarter. There's a lot of football to be played here tonight. But this has been such a positive drive for the Fox Chapel Foxes after being shut out last week. After 14 total yards of offense, they come out, they look outstanding. If they come up empty here, it's going to be a shot to their confidence. They got to be feeling really good about themselves. If they can punch this in and tie this score, we might have a football game.
I was just going to say, you said, that could be a shot to their confidence. How about a boost?
Yes.
If they get in. This could determine many things moving forward in this football game. Back on the field, out of the timeout. It's a Wildcat setup, and that's Wecht in the shotgun. He'll take the direct snap, dive for the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown, Fox Chapel. Alexander Wecht with a 1-yard score. And just like that, Steve, you said it, it's another ball game. Fox Chapel's first points of the 2019 season come in conference play here in week 1 on the feet of Alex Wecht.
Yeah, interesting play call. I like it. I wasn't sure. Wecht's not the biggest kid. He's 5'9", 175 pounds. And yet Tom Loughran loved the idea of putting the ball in his hands, and he was able to get in for that score. Just a big, big play and a huge drive for the Fox Chapel Foxes.
Zachariah Esob on for the extra point for Fox Chapel, but a flag was thrown here. Fox Chapel was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown. Tom Loughran preaching his case on the far sideline. As you see here, that ball's going to be moved back for this extra point, and you never know. High school football, a point matters a lot. You see so many games on missed extra points or botched snaps where you've being forced into that 2-point conversion situation. So a tough test here to start for Zachariah Esob, the senior kicker.
What a great response after that 15-play, 70-yard drive from the North Hills Indians. The Fox Chapel Foxes, a 10-play drive that results in that 1-yard touchdown run on 4th down and 1 from the 1.
Now this goes out to the 18-yard line. That's where the ball will be placed. And you see where the hold's coming from, right at the 25. So a tough test here for an extra point for Esob. Snap was good, hold down, and it's too low. May have actually got partially blocked by McDonough off the edge, and that could matter here as the extra point misses, but nonetheless some confidence building on that Fox Chapel sideline right now. 7-6, North Hills leads with 37 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll step away and come back for the North Hills driver. We're going to keep it here there as you saw the missed extra point for Fox Chapel. And North Hills looks for a response now, Steve.
They will, but you really got to give it up for the Fox Chapel Foxes and how they responded to that 15-play, 70-yard drive by the Indians. They respond with a 10-play, 60-yard drive themselves. Shane Susnack, 2 for 2 on that drive. Brown, 3 carries, 18 yards, and Alex Wecht getting that final 1-yard touchdown run that got them to within 1 point.
Ball will be placed on that left hash again for Fox Chapel to kick it away. And back on to do the kickoff duty is Mike Tarasi. And again, deep to Mazik and McDonough. 7-6, the North Hills Indians with the lead. Kickoff for Tarasi, and it's a good one. Down the middle, taking it there, McDonough from his own 8. McDonough looking for room up the middle. Now he'll bounce it right, and right around the 20-yard line, he'll be gang tackled there. Dragged a couple tacklers with him up near the 25, and that's where North Hills will start their second drive of the game.
I really like the response of the Fox Chapel Foxes, and I love the way they came out. They, just a very quick tempo. They wanted to, go no huddle, and I think it really kind of took North Hills a little bit by surprise. I don't know if they did that an awful lot or maybe at all in the first game and that big loss against Peters Township, but it really worked on that first drive.
Drive worked for North Hills as well, and here they come with Dylan Pauling, who had a 9-yard score to start the game off for North Hills. This time he'll give to Foskey off the right side. Foskey tries to spin away from a man, and he can go nowhere. Fox Chapel a little pumped up on that far sideline, Steve.
And there's a lot to be excited about if you're the Fox Chapel Fox. You scored the first touchdown of the year in week 1. And then you bottle up Curtis Foskey on what will probably be the final play of this first quarter.
Yeah, clock winding down here. North Hills hasn't broken the huddle. So that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The North Hills Indians 7, the Fox Chapel Foxes 6. We'll take a break, come back for the second quarter. It's 2019 WPIL football, the video game of the week here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me, on and off the court. That's what keeps me focused, why I practiced harder, why I play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo.
Mr. Magic is Pittsburgh's premier car wash. We combine the latest technology, equipment, and detergents to give your car that showroom shine. Stop by any one of our 5 locations or visit us online at MrMagicCarWash.com.
12 minutes back on the clock here for quarter number 2. 7-6 our score from Martirelli Stadium. The North Hills Indians a 1-point lead. Corey Campano, Steve Nagler with you here. Shelby Cassesi down on the sideline for our updates tonight. Steve, interesting first quarter. Some may have seen that going a different way, but Fox Chapel's right in this thing.
Well, it's interesting. Each team had one possession plus one play for North Hills. North Hills 71 yards of total offense in the first quarter. Fox Chapel Foxes with 60 yards of total offense.
And it's a 2nd and 9 for the North Hills Indians. Ball on their own 26-yard line. A great view of it there. Our camera crew always does an excellent job here for the network. Pauling, the quarterback, sends a man in motion and gives to Foskey up the middle. Huge hole, and Foskey hits it hard up across the 35-yard line. First down and more. Finally brought down there the 39 as well as where they will spot it. Give him 13.
Already 33 yards of rushing for Foskey, and a great job up front. It's the simple trap play like back in the 70s, like the Steelers used to run. Has a really good job by the interior of that Indians offensive line. David Lucas, the center, Chris Kopp, the left guard, and Nick Peterson, the right guard.
So here we go, traditional set again for the Indians. That's McDonough in motion, a bad snap. Never got off the turf. Pauling had to jump on the football there. That's going to be a loss. Maybe 2, maybe even 3, as Pauling just never got the snap there from his center. That's unlike David Lucas. He's as solid as they come. Just a little bit of a mishap there. Splitting out wide left as they break the huddle for the Indians is Derek Muha. Foskey stands to the left of Pauling there. Ball in the right hash and a give to Foskey. Up the middle. He follows his blockers. Keeps those legs moving, and now we'll see if the Indians can push the pile. They do for a moment there, but right at the sticks is where Foskey will be brought down at the 49-yard line. Another nice game.
I love the mindset of this North Hills Indian offense. Behind the sticks, 2nd and 12, no problem. We're going to still give it to Curtis Foskey. And even though he is big and strong and talked about, kind of low to the ground, boy, he is quick to hit that hole. And he is a half-yard short from getting that first down.
Yeah, that spot, as you mentioned, Steve, 48.5-yard line there. Not far to go at all. But North Hills will stay in that same formation with Pauling in the gun. Man in motion, McDonough. Give up the middle. Foskey looks for a hole, and he got enough for the first down, but a nice job on that far side to come in from the linebacker position. That was Kwiatkowski. Put a nice hit on Foskey, but the Indians moved the sticks again.
Well, Foskey is not a guy you're going to bottle up at the line of scrimmage or catch behind the line of scrimmage. He is as north-south as it comes. You're not going to see him go east and west very often. And he has got great vision, hits the hole hard, and he is on his way to a second consecutive 100-yard rushing evening.
He takes a breather here. Indians will go to work again. In motion, Tomazic. Pauling faked it that way. Now a roll left. Pressure on his backside. He got rid of the throw, but missed above the outstretched hand of Tim Sudo, incomplete.
He had Sam Brown chasing him from the moment that ball was scrimmaged. You'll see Brown coming in from right up the middle. And perfectly timed blitz and almost gets his hand on the football, but because of the pressure, unable to connect with Sudo.
That was Bill Fonzie who checked in at running back there, and I think Sam Brown just had enough speed to blow right by him, and Pauling, nice athleticism to get out of there. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Bunch set here for North Hills, and another whistle, and Coach Carey livid on the sideline. He'll have to take another timeout. Reminder that coming up at the halftime, it's the Trib Live Trib HSSN halftime show. This week, Don Rebel and the Trib's Chris Harlan talk about the teams to watch in 2019 around the WPIAL. Also, don't forget to tune in for This Week in the WPIAL on a new night this fall. Log in on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. as we visit with some of the top WPIAL coaches. Plus, we preview some of the top games from Week 2 of the WPIAL football season. 7-6 our score here with 9:41 remaining in the second quarter. North Hills just had to take their third and final time out of the first half. Didn't look like they were lined up correctly. And this, an important drive for them. Only the second drive. Hard to believe that we're in the middle, I should say, of our third drive of the entire game. But that's what happens when the clock keeps moving and ball stays on the ground quite a bit. Pauling will open in the gun on this 2nd and 10 play. 2 receivers to the left. There's McDonough in motion. Fake that way. Pauling keep up the middle. And he's grabbed there as he nears the 45-yard line. Another tackle for Alex Wecht.
That's why missing Wecht in week 1 was so devastating for Tom Loughran and this Fox Chapel Foxes team. We'll see him come in and really stop what was going to be a longer run by Pauling. Just great tackling by Wecht. He had 73 tackles in 2018 when he was an honorable mention all-conference player.
Think he makes a difference as the touchdown tonight as well. Pauling in the gun, 3rd and 6, drops, floats one, and that one went right through the defender's hands. That was Jenkins. There were 2 receivers out to the left, and Pauling kind of threw it right in between them. Logan Jenkins kicking himself after not pulling in that interception. He had green grass in front of him as well.
I'm not sure what Dylan Pauling was looking at here. Is he had 2 wide receivers. He just underthrew what I think it was Tom McDonough. And now they will have to punt the football.
Pauling immediately went up to one of his wide receivers and was talking about the route, so maybe a miscommunication. And that is McDonough on to punt for North Hills, standing at his own 41. Took a long time to get rid of that, but the punt is there. Fair caught by Jenkins at the 19-yard line. That's where Fox Chapel will set up. Let's get an update down from Shelby Cassesi.
Guys, Fox Chapel head coach Tom Loughran and his youngest son Patrick have done something that not many father-son duos have been able to do, and that's win state championships as WPIAL head coaches. Now, Tom was a head coach at South Park for many years, where he won titles in 1997 and 2005. And although his son Patrick ran up and down the sidelines when his dad was a coach when he was younger, he became a head baseball coach, where just this past spring he won a WPIAL title as the baseball coach at Steel Valley. Now, when asked what advice he gave his son Patrick when he became a head coach, Tom just said he gave him the same advice that he received when he became a head coach, which was don't mess it up. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Shelby. Good stuff. And now Fox Chapel will go back to work after they got a stop of that North Hills offense. It's a give up the middle on their first play of their second drive. A short gain, maybe one. And that time it was Sam Brown. Big stop there, I think, Steve. Not only I know that the pass was a little wayward there, but you mentioned confidence so much with the team that really got walloped in week 0 and only won 2 games all of last season. This is very, very important. Now they're setting up with 3 receivers to the right. Susnick looked like he might have changed something at the line. He'll drop. He'll look to throw. Floats one down to the middle. In tight coverage, he completes it. What a grab. What a throw. That's Jenkins, and he's up near midfield, marked out at the 47-yard line. That was a bullet from Shane Susnick.
And give Lorenzo Jenkins, the sophomore, a lot of credit. He didn't have a whole lot of room, and a great pass by Susnick, and he was able to make that catch in a little bit of traffic and really use his speed. It's a 26-yard pass and catch on 2nd and long.
That was Foskey in tight coverage, but Jenkins, the outstretched arms, the ball was right there. Full house backfield here. Give up the middle. Brown runs into a defensive lineman and is brought down right at midfield. He got 3, but he took a big lick on the defensive side from Nova Sedliak. He pulled the ball out of the pile there. Steve looked like he thought it was a fumble.
But Nova Sedliak is a specimen. 6'7", 240 pounds, and you're not going to get him to go backward very often.
Fox Chapel will take their time here. 2nd and 7, ball right at the 50 on the left hash. There's Susnick looking to the sideline for the play call. 3 wide receivers to the right, running back to the left. Susnick, quick hitter outside. Once again, that's Watkins as he crosses midfield. Short gain, maybe 2. That time, North Hills was all over it. That was Warner Macklin on the catch. My apologies, Warner.
They had some success on the first drive with some quick hitters to the wide outs. This time, North Hills doing a better job of reacting after the catch, and only a 2-yard gain.
Coming up to make the tackle that time was big number 15, Tim Sudo. And now Susnick will drop, has a flanker out to the left, pitches it there, but North Hills is all over it. No room at all for Sam Brown, a 3rd and 5, where Susnick had to go to his second option, and there was just nothing there whatsoever. Once again, Max Bademo made the stop.
Well, the coverage was very good down the football field, and you got to give Susnick credit for checking down and trying to get what he might be able to get underneath. He had Sam Brown out in the space, but just too many red shirts coming up to make the play.
Some confusion here as Fox Chapel's actually going to stay on the field. It looks like the punter was on. Now he's not. North Hills is mixed up defensively. Susnick drops. He's going to look to throw. They're going for it, and he completes it. No! It looked like it was in the hands of the man crossing across the field, Ryan Crehan. He even looked like he might have taken a step, and then that ball was stripped from the backside. A good throw from Susnick. I love the aggressive play, but they just can't convert.
Well, that's an unfortunate scenario for Crehan to drop that football. I love the play call. It fooled North Hills. They had to come up out of what looked like what they were going to try to they're going to be being punted to, and a perfect throw by Susnick and just a drop ball by Crehan.
Luke Holbert might have had a hand in there. A nice play from him. Now a misdirection handoff. North Hills quickly got to the line, and that was Tomazic, who gets 5 up to the 45-yard line. And big momentum shifter there. Boy, Fox Chapel converts that. It's a different ball game in itself.
You just can't make mistakes. You can't have mental lapses like that when you're a Fox Chapel team. You got to play close to perfect. They had been to this point.
Now their defense is going to be relied on to stop them with only half a field to gain. Pauling sends Tomazic in motion. Fake there. Now it's McDonough. McDonough, little hole off the left side. Breaks a tackle, and he spins out of another one. Now he'll reverse field. Looks for a block. Nothing there, though, and he's going to be bottled up in the backfield. That'll go as a loss. Laundry on the field on the far side. So we'll have to see how this turns out. The speedster McDonough tried to change directions 4 separate times.
Yeah, this might be a horse tackle call. Somebody had no, it's going to be a hold. I was going to say a horse tackle or a
right
hold.
There,
it's
right
be,
there, yeah.
Number 13. who committed the foul. It is Derek Muha. And so what was a loss of 3 yards, and we're going to see if Tom Loughran declines the penalty and puts them in a 3rd and 8 scenario.
Yeah, and Tom Loughran, the experienced coach, out near midfield chatting with the officials. He's trying to get an explanation on what to do here. The holding call, I think, is going to stand, though. Instead of 3rd and 8, this is going to be 2nd and about 17, maybe even 18, all the way back to the 42-yard line it will be.
Well, a little bit of a bad break for the Indians. I think that ball should have, that mark-off should have been where that foul occurred, which was about the 43-yard line of Fox Chapel. So
maybe a few extra yards in favor of Fox Chapel. Now a give on the right side. That ball is out, and now the official blows the whistle to signal the play dead. Maybe another break there as the Indians, Tyler Tomazic, had the ball stripped.
Yeah, I want to see this. If he's down. I want to see this on replay as he is hit there, and he going for extra yards. I don't think he was down. His left hand was down. I think that's a tough call to make when it's in-game action, but I don't think that Tomazic had a knee down.
Now a situation that has not been kind for North Hills, 3rd and very long, 14 to be exact. Pauling fakes and now will take it on his own on the right side. Gets past a couple men driving tacklers with him. He is up near the 40-yard line. That was the line to gain. 14 yards needed, and somehow Pauling turned that into 12.
Now this is going to be interesting because what on 3rd and long looked like maybe a punt situation, now on 4th and 2, they're going to keep the offense on the football field and go for it.
And personnel issues here for Fox Chapel. They might have had 13 guys out on the field. Tom Loughran realized that and called a timeout.
Yeah, they had 12, I believe, but good job by Tom Loughran to realize that and call a timeout. This is a big spot here with North Hills up 7-6. What a run by Pauling, showing again not a ton of speed from the quarterback position, but he's just got that innate knowledge of how to run the football.
Absolutely.
And, we'll see it. He breaks tackles again, breaks a tackle there and tackle there, a couple arm tackles, and finally gets hauled down at the 42-yard line. I just love the toughness of this kid.
You can't exactly circle Dylan Pauling as a quarterback. He's an athlete. It's obvious. And how about the confidence in Pat Carey there? I mean, 3rd and 14, let's just call my quarterback's number. Give him the ball. Let him make the decision. And now they're in a very doable situation here. 4:07 on the clock here at Martorelli Stadium. Corey Campano, Steve Nagler. Ball at the 42-yard line on the right hash. There's Pauling in the gun. That's Foskey to the left of him. Fox Chapel stacks the box. Give to Foskey up the middle. Follows that center, and he's right at the sticks. This is going to depend on a spot, but he has enough. Immediate signal. Needed 2. He got 2.5.
And ran right behind this left guard, Chris Kopp, at number 51. And, 4th down, 3rd down, and short. Why not give it to Curtis Foskey? He is tough between the tackles.
Once again, the Indians in no hurry here as we are under 4 minutes left in this first half. They lead by 1. Remember, it was a unsportsmanlike penalty call against Fox Chapel after the touchdown that pushed their extra point back 15 yards. It was then missed. Pauling sends 2 men in motion. All kinds of confusion here. They don't have a timeout left. 2 on the play clock, 1, and that is a delay of game. Maybe could have been called for an illegal formation there. A couple guys moving at the same time, but nevertheless a 5-yard penalty.
You never want to take a 5-yard penalty, but here's the other side of that equation. When guys don't know where they're going to go, as a quarterback, you're thinking, we're not going to get our blocking right. Somebody's going to get killed on this play. Let's save the down. We'll give 5 yards and run a 1st and 15 play from the 44.
That's exactly what they'll do with 3:24 left in the half. Line down for the Indians. McDonough in motion. Pauling will fake the pitch, keep it up the middle. Nice blocking and a big hole as he gets up across the 40, gets all of those yards back, and maybe one more. Call it a gain of 6, and that'll set up 2nd and 9. I like the play call there again.
Yeah, again, misdirection as they fake the handoff to McDonough, who ran, again, that version of the jet sweep in this offense. They get the whole defense moving to their right. Pauling pulls it back in and runs for 6 yards.
Receiver on the near side here is number 13, Derek Muha. Tomazic goes in motion. Pauling will roll right. He'll look to throw. Couple receivers downfield. He floats one up into coverage. 50-50 ball brought in, and all the way in for a score is Tommy McDonough. It was a shot between Jenkins and McDonough. McDonough brought it in, broke a tackle, and scampered 5 more yards across the goal line. A 38-yard connection. 13-6 North Hills.
Well, this is just a simple Hail Mary. Probably a ball that shouldn't have been thrown by Dylan Pauling, and you got to give Tommy McDonough a lot of credit. Watch him go up against the defender and just take this ball away from a very athletic defender in Lorenzo Jenkins. Not only does he come down, that he's able to get into the end zone.
Extra point is on the way and good from Nate Saul. Our score, North Hills 14. Fox Chapel 6 on the 38-yard hookup there with 2:34 remaining in the first half. We'll take a break, come back for Fox Chapel's drive. It's the video game of the week here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Back at Martirelli Stadium, 38-yard passing touchdown for the North Hills Indians, the first one of the year for Dylan Pauling, and the first receiving touchdown for Tom McDonough. He ran for over 100 yards in that Week 0 matchup. Now he gets a 38-yard touchdown reception, and to say that he earned it is an understatement.
Just a couple of really athletic kids going up for that football. McDonough certainly, and Lorenzo Jenkins. Jenkins 6'2", McDonough 6 feet. So you got to give the 6-footer a lot of credit for going up against the taller defensive player.
Kickoff here from Saul inside the 10, taken there, looking for room is Jenkins, and tried to juke back towards the middle, but he slipped and fell at the 18-yard line. Fox Chapel will set up there, and clock was running after the kick there, but their drive upcoming for the Foxes.
A lot of time for this Fox Chapel offense as we see the touchdown pass again, as McDonough able to just out-leap Jenkins and then break the tackle of number 38, Dorian Gomez, and get into the end zone. Just a outstanding offensive effort by McDonough.
2:23 left in this first half for Fox Chapel. They'll look for another answer. Senior quarterback Shane Susnack comes out in the gun. 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. He drops, floats one over the middle. Great pass and a great catch. Macklin's off to the run. He gets up across midfield, and he's finally brought down after a huge hookup on the first play of this drive. Once again, Warner Macklin, the senior, he's been all over the place tonight.
And what a great throw. I hope we get a chance to see this on replay.
Yeah, here
We're going to get just a bullet thrown by Susnack, and great catch. And it's good for 35 yards on first down.
Once again, Foskey just missed it with the outstretched hand. Susnack rolls right, and before he can do that, a false start on the offensive line. You know, for a team that was very unorganized last week, Fox Chapel looks completely different this week, and that's really helped them in this game.
Well, Tom Laughlin's been around for a long time.
I think he knows what to do.
He knows how to coach football, and so I'm sure, and he said it to us, they spent a lot of time watching film, and I'm sure it was made everybody sick to their stomach to have to watch that entire film, that 45-0 loss to Peters Township, but it has made a difference tonight.
Bunch set with Sam Brown next to Susnack in the gun. 2 receivers each way. Clock rolling under 2 minutes. Play action up the middle, and Susnack is just drilled in the backfield. Coming up to make the hit again was big number 44, Bademo. And Max Pademo's been in the backfield 3 or 4 times and made big impacts.
He was there along with Chris Kopp, the sophomore. Both arrived just about the same time, and Susnack really just had no time.
Some confusion on the far sideline for Fox Chapel. They have it listed as 4th down. It's 2nd and 22, and that's what Coach Loughran wanted changed originally. They get it changed, and the clock is still rolling here, and Susnack finally will snap the ball. Looks down the left sideline, miscommunication. On an out route that time was Jenkins, and Susnack thought he was going straight.
Now, the first really kind of bad throw by Susnack, and I think that was, like you said, just the quarterback and the wideout not on the same page. I think Lorenzo Jenkins probably ran the wrong route.
He looked back at Susnack right afterwards and kind of motioned like, my bad, my bad. I think he knew that might have been on him, and now it's 3rd and 22. Tough situation for the Foxes from their own 41. Susnack will drop. Pressure in his face. Steps up. Now will look to run. Gets away from one man, but now he's brought down up across the 40-yard line. And there's a flag way back in the backfield. Probably a hold coming on Fox Chapel. Because
and it will be declined, as it will be 4th down and forever. And so the North Hills Indians will opt to try to get this football back.
That was David Lucas in the backfield, and he was pumped up after he drew that holding call. So he was brought down near Shane Susnack. And that's 4th down, as you mentioned, Stephen. That's going to bring the punting unit on for Fox Chapel. They're in no rush to get this punt away. Don't want to give North Hills too much time, although the Indians do not have any timeouts left. And now Fox Chapel sends a late man on from the sidelines, and that's going to be an illegal substitution, or maybe 12 men on the field. A couple flags were flying here. It's actually going to be on North Hills. So North Hills with 12 men on the field. That will bring it up to the 49-yard line for Fox Chapel to punt this one away. 2 men deep for the Indians. Back there, Tyler Tomazik and Luke Holbert. And on to punt for Fox Chapel this time is Ethan Wilson. An array of kickers for the Foxes. They're letting the clock run down. 3-2-1 on the play clock, and Tom Loughran will take a timeout just before the play clock runs out. 13 seconds remaining in this first half.
Yeah, it really won't give the North Hills Indians a whole lot to do offensively. And I think if you're the special teams coach of the Indians, why not go for a punt block here? You know, commit everybody to the line of scrimmage. You don't even have to have a deep man back. Maybe if you want to, you know, if they do get the punt off, maybe you can roll the dice and try to get a return. But I would send the house at the punter at this stage and see if you can't get a block.
I'm with you. Where the ball's out on the field, no timeouts. You're a running football team, really. I mean, that's your only shot at anything happening your way.
Well, how often do we see in WPIL football or high school football anywhere where teams have trouble sometimes on the punting units as well? So looks like they're going to have a couple of guys back. And I think smartly Pat Carey's almost playing for a fake here.
He's sort of positioned that way as his 2 returners are standing just at their 30-yard line. It's a good snap, and Wilson does a nice job to get the punt away. High end-over-end kick, and it bounces there right at the 35-yard line. Takes a North Hills bounce and is down there with 4 seconds on the game clock here. At Martirelli Stadium, the North Hills Indians look, by all accounts, they will kneel the football here and take an 8-point lead into the half, but an entertaining half it's been. Fox Chapel has done a great job to stick in this one. So the Indians will go over the ball, and that's exactly what they'll do. They're going to take a knee here. It'll be an 8-point difference as we go into the locker rooms here. A 9-yard touchdown run from Pauling, a 1-yard run from Wecht. in a passing play. But before we go to the half, Shelby Cassesi is down with head coach Pat Carey.
What's the message to the team at halftime?
Well, we have to clean things up. I think we've had some penalties and some offsides and just delay of games, things that we had to take some time, burn some timeouts. It looks like a first night game instead of the second night. So we really have to clean some things up. And I think we have to be better tackling, get to the quarterback a little bit. They've been able to throw the ball on us. We've got to be better in coverage, and I think we've missed some tackles. So we're going to work on that.
On the other hand, what do you like about your defense responding? They gave up a quick touchdown to start, but then held them off after
Absolutely. And we talk about resiliency all the time, and I think our kids showed that out there. And even when they're driving the ball, we were able to sack their quarterback a few times to put them in a situation where we could get off the field. So we're proud of that.
And lastly, what do you make of that touchdown catch over there?
It's something else. Tommy, he does something different to surprise me each night we come out here. He's a fantastic athlete, so we're fortunate to have him.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelby and Pat Carey. 14-6, the North Hills Indians lead. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about some things from that first half here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
A personalized education tailored for your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
As a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university, Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
Halftime here at Martirelli Stadium. Our score at the end of the first half of play, North Hills 14, Fox Chapel 6.
The North Hills Indians getting on the board on their first drive with 4:59 to go in the first quarter. It was a 9-yard touchdown run by Dylan Pauling, as you see him getting a great block at the end by David Lucas. 7-0 North Hills. Fox Chapel comes back on their first drive, a 4th-down-and-1 run by Alex Wecht, and then a 38-yard pass by Dylan Pauling to Tommy McDonough. He eludes a tackler. That's where we stand at the half, 14-6 North Hills. Let's quickly take a look at some individual numbers. The North Hills Indians led by Curtis Foskey on the ground, 9 carries, 51 yards rushing. Dylan Pauling, 9 carries, 36 yards in that touchdown. Tyler Tomasic, 4 carries, 18 yards. Tommy McDonough, 2 carries and 10 yards. Dylan Pauling, 2 of 6 through the air, 54 yards and the touchdown. For the Fox Chapel Foxes, they're led by Shane Susnick, the outstanding senior quarterback. 6 of 8 through the air, 88 yards, and had a drop in that first half on that 4th down play from the 50-yard line. Keep that in mind as well, but he had an outstanding first half. Sam Brown led the way on the ground for the Foxes, 5 carries, 22 yards. The North Hills Indians outgaining Fox Chapel 169 yards to 117. Pretty good first half for both teams.
And overall, that's reflective on the scoreboard as we've got a one-score game, 14-6 our score. We'll be back before the second half of play, but let's kick it to the halftime show. It's the Trib HSSN halftime show this week. Don Rebel and the Trib's Chris Harlan talk about the teams to watch in 2019 around the WPIAL.
Welcome to the halftime show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Halftime of the North Hills versus Fox Chapel conference opener, Northern Conference Class 5A. Chris Harlan. I'm Don Rebel. We're here to talk about teams to watch, specifically teams to watch here in 2019. in 19. Every classification, Chris, has its favorites. I'm sure some of the folks know who they are by now, but we'll start in Class 6A. Same old as far as favorites,
Yeah,
right?
it's the same guys. Pine Richland, Central Catholic, North Allegheny, Seneca Valley got to the finals last year. We'll see tonight against Central Catholic how they're going to do. But, yeah, it's those guys and everybody else trying to kind of crash their party.
5A appears to be a little deeper. Now, I think, personally, Gateway may be a notch above everybody else, but everybody else, that next slot is pretty crowded.
Yeah, I think 5A was the deepest classification last year, and I don't see any reason why that'll change this year. I mean, when you look at the top with Gateway, and then you've got two really good teams right behind them in Peters Township and Penn Trafford. Both bring a whole lot back from last year's team, and they've got all the skill. They've got the quarterbacks, they've got the receivers, they've got running back, they've got all that experience back. And then you've got a team like Penn Hills. They graduated a whole lot, but you can't count them out, defending state champs. And then below them, you've got a Mars team who's really good. Right. People maybe aren't talking about, but I think they could give Penn Hills a run for their conference title. You've got Upper St. Clair, who had a big win last week over South Fayette. And it just keeps going. I mean, you've got a bunch of teams there. It's good that 5A still has a 16-team playoff because they're going to need them all. I mean, there's a lot of teams at the top who are really good and going to be contending this year.
McKeesport, Franklin
Absolutely.
Regional, Woodland Hills,
Right.
Bethel Park. I mean, those are all good teams. We're not even talking about as far as Dark Horse is concerned. So very deep in 5A. Not the case in 4A.
No, it's a different story here. It's Thomas Jefferson and everybody else. I mean, I think right now we're trying to figure out who the team that's going to be at Heinz Field with Thomas Jefferson in November will be. That other conference with South Fayette, it's sort of been their conference the last few years at Northwest 8. I think it'll be interesting to see if somebody else can maybe rise up and challenge them over there. Newcastle had a good win last week against Shaler. Really showed a lot with Demetrius McKnight, a name people knew from basketball. Running back this time, put up a good night for them last week. So I think it'd be interesting to see them, a couple other teams maybe in that Northwest 8 you've mentioned, could make a run at that South Fayette.
Beaver, Blackhawk,
right?
Beaver, South Fayette, big game tonight. Class 3A, it's got to start with the defending champions, right? Aliquippa.
Yeah. Aliquippa, they lost a lot of names that people would recognize. Some of the Division I guys like MJ Devonshire, Will Gibson moved on.
They lost a lot.
They did. But there's a number of good guys. When you talk to Mike Warfield, he feels confident in the core that they have coming back. Doesn't feel like a whole new team. There's a lot of new faces out there. But guys like Zariah Fisher at linebacker and tight end, they have some guys that are going to make that team go. And at this point, there's no reason to not believe they're going to be the favorites. But there is a team in their conference, I think, who is kind of on the rise. Central Valley is a team that I think everyone has to pay a little bit more attention to. They surprised Aliquippa in Week 9 last year, pulled off that upset, and sort of surprised a lot of people. But I think this year we're seeing them. They had a good win against Blackhawk last week. So we're starting to see them sort of rise up. Mark Lyons has been using a young lineup there. And I think we're starting to see them kind of find their way. Whether they'll challenge Aliquippa for that title, I don't know. But I definitely think they're a team that we need to watch this season.
Had a chance to see the Quips in Week 0. Whew, man, a lot of new faces, but still a lot of talent. Class 2A seems to be like we've grown accustomed to Class 2A, where there's that one predominant favorite. But again, almost like 5A, once you get past that one team to beat, there are a lot of teams in the mix.
Right. Again, and we've talked about that. If you took Washington out of the picture, there could probably be 8 or 9 teams that you could say as a favorite to maybe win a title this year. But Washington just has that step above everybody else right now. They've got the quarterback, running back, good line back, just that experience from last year's team that they're going to be tough to beat. We're going to see, they're not unbeatable, but they're definitely going to be head and shoulders above everybody else right now. So it'll be interesting to see who else can kind of rise up and put themselves. We've got Burgettstown ranked second right now in our rankings. So we'll see. We'll see who can kind of come up and challenge them.
Yeah, they're a team that has a lot back from last year. They won their conference a year ago. They got a tough test tonight, taking on Seton LaSalle in the Three Rivers Conference. You got Steel Valley with a new coach. Shady Side Academy, they sort of lost their star power, but again, they're a team that seems to be there year in and year out. Has the balance of power swung as we now come to Class A? For years, it was Eastern Conference. Well, going back, it was always the Big Seven Conference. Rochester, Southside Beaver, Western Beaver. Then, in recent years, of course, Clairton has a lot to do with the fact that the pendulum swung to the Eastern Conference. Jeanette, Imani Christian, and Clairton were semifinalists 2 years ago. Last year, though, maybe back to the Big Seven?
Right. And this time last year, going into week one, we were talking all about the Eastern Conference. I mean, it was about Clairton. It was about Jeanette. At that point, it was about Imani Christian. And those are the teams we were saying, who's going to be at Heinz Field, really, of that group. But the Big Seven really rose back up last year. I mean, that was quite a year from them. And it did kind of bring back memories of the old Big Seven, because they used to be that dominant conference. But to see Olsk get there last year, to see Rochester there, I think those teams, you've got to consider them a little bit more. I think now going into this season, you see why Single A is a little bit more wide open because of that. I think the Clairton and Jeanette are both still really good. But I think a team like Laurel could surprise some people coming out of that other conference.
Laurel playing Rochester tonight. Olsh playing Stowe Rocks tonight. Another team that you have to talk about in the discussion. And remember, only 2 teams from each conference in Class A are guaranteed a playoff spot. Probably 3 from that conference make it because of the wild card. But nonetheless, one of those teams that we just mentioned will be on the outside looking in.
And you mentioned Stowe Rocks. I mean, that's a team, they missed the playoffs completely last year because of that.
Yep.
What a talented team they had, missed the playoffs. They've got a big-time offense coming back. I would think that they could be right in that running again. Maybe not even just for playoffs, but they could be a title contender this year.
Well, before we get back to the third quarter, North Hills and Fox Chapel, we had a chance over the summer. We had the big Kennywood preseason Trib 25 All-Stars. It was a great day. They came out. We celebrated them. And some of them had a chance to share their reflections of Friday Night Lights with us.
Friday Night Lights are just special. Like it sends something down your back. You can feel it throughout your entire body. It's honestly something else.
It's crazy. I mean, you can't really describe the feeling. I mean, it's excitement.
It's the best feeling in the world for it. You get the chills, and our team we just hype all the time.
It's a great feeling. You start to get a little bit of goosebumps when you hear the crowd chanting and everything else, and I love going out there and competing against a bunch of great players in Western Pennsylvania.
It feels amazing to be playing for our hometown crowd. There's truly no other feeling like it.
I really love the atmosphere. That's the best part of playing football for me.
Just a rush of energy. There's no other feeling like it. No other sport compares to it, and that's why I love football.
A whole lot of emotions, but not nervous emotions. Too late to be nervous when you're out there. You just have to get ready to go, get pumped up with your boys.
It just gets the adrenaline pumping. It's really fun. Me and my teammates dancing around, just getting hyped, screaming at each other, ready to go out and play against the competition.
There's no greater feeling than walking out with your best friends out there, going to war with them.
It's just the feeling of a lifetime. It's just something you can't get back, and it's awesome. Best feeling ever.
There's no other feeling than walking out on a Friday night and you get to play the sport you love. So there's no other feeling.
You walk out, you see all the fans, your adrenaline just starts pumping.
Oh man, it's the best feeling in the world. You're walking out, you see all the fans start getting up, and you get the band playing their chant, and it's, oh man, adrenaline pumping. It's the best feeling in the world.
It feels different. I feel like I'm unstoppable. I can't get stopped. We can't get stopped.
Feels good. Knowing every Friday there's a big crowd out there watching you. You got to do your best every Friday.
There's no better feeling in the world. To have a whole community behind your back, no better feeling.
It's actually amazing. I mean, we get to walk out there, and there's a big, long line, our whole band, cheerleaders, everybody, and then there's a big banner right there. We all run through it, but I mean, getting to look up to the left in the stands, all those fans sitting there waiting to watch you, and all your family and everybody up there, student section, it's amazing, and you can't ask for anything better.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234. Tired of a dirty car? Mr. Magic Car Wash will have your vehicle looking new again in just minutes, even those tough-to-clean wheels. Try us out at any one of our 5 convenient South Hills locations for a car wash you won't soon forget.
Mr. Magic Car Wash. Clean, shiny, and dry every time.
North Hills band putting on an impressive set here at Martirelli Stadium. Corey Campano, Steve Nagler with you. Our score 14-6 in favor of the home team, the North Hills Indians. There was a lot of talk prior to this game, Steve, about what we might see, what could happen, how is Fox Chapel going to react, and they've answered every call so far, and that's why it's an 8-point game. They're right in this thing, and don't forget they get the ball to start the second half.
Well, it's been night and day from week 0 to week 1 here for the Foxes, without a doubt. We talked about and chronicled just all the things that went wrong in that week 0 45-0 loss against Peters Township. Again, those Peters Township Indians are going to be very good again this year, so you got to take that in mind. But, boy, Shane Susnack has been so much better this week. 3 of 10 last week, only 13 yards of passing offense for him. And in the first half here this evening, he has completed 6 of 8 passes for 88 yards. And one of those 2 incompletions were drops. Sam Brown has looked pretty good on the ground, and it was pretty impressive that they ended up scoring and answering that initial drive that North Hills had offensively on their first drive. Made it a 7-6 game. North Hills able to get a late touchdown in the first half to give them that 8-point lead, 14-6.
And it's been, as you mentioned, just a totally different look for Fox Chapel. A different look for North Hills. We haven't talked about that much last week. They got off to a great start. Offense clicked on all cylinders, seemingly from the beginning of the game to the end. Put up 45 points. They've run the ball well here tonight, but it hasn't come as easy. No, you're right. I think that the Fox Chapel defense has done a pretty good job overall, but it's fun to watch this stable of running backs for Pat Carey and the North Hills Indians. Curtis Foskey has gotten most of the carries, 9 carries, 51 yards, but Tyler Tomasic has done a good job, 4 carries, 18 yards, and Tommy McDonough, what a great job going up and getting that football, kind of high-pointing it on that 38-yard touchdown pass. He breaks the tackle, able to scamper into the end zone. It's been pretty fun to watch. Really has been, and I'll tell you what, you mentioned it to me at the beginning of the game, but I think you understated it, how fun to watch the band for North Hills out on the field. It's an enormous band. They really put on a show here. This entire section on this sideline, North Hills fans are really into it, and rightfully so. So we get 3 minutes winding down on the clock now before the second half of play will start. You see Fox Chapel on the far side. You'll see creep into your screen, walking back onto the field. Steve, what's going to be so important for them coming out? Well, I think it's going to be important for them to kind of reestablish themselves offensively. They're still only down 1 score here, so it's great for them. They get the football to start the second half. I think they got to continue to throw the football. Shane Susnack has really shown to be very competent under center, very confident in the way he throws the football, very poised. And I think overall the offensive line has done a pretty darn good job in protecting him and giving him time to throw the football. I would totally agree, and this drive for Fox Chapel is going to be crucial, because if they can once again respond and get back into this thing, then it's all hands on deck for the rest of the game. North Hills will then have to adjust, I should say, offensively and defensively. We've just seen things on both sides that we've really liked here. What a way to start off a game in the Northern Conference. This is going to be a tough conference all season. Yeah, it will. There's no easy football games to be played in the Northern Conference, that's for sure. Again, in the Northern Conference tonight, the other 5A teams playing. Kiski and Shaler, Hampton and Armstrong squaring off against each other. Mars out of conference against Moon, and Penn Hills versus Latrobe. Coming back onto the field, Tom Loughran. Shelby Cassetti has him.
What did you like out of your team from the first half?
Well, I thought we played sound defense most of the time, except in long yardage situations. They converted on 3rd and 12. They hit a pass down here, kept their first drive alive, and then we had them long yards down there, and we should have had an interception. Their kid made a great play, jumped over top, made a catch, scored a touchdown. So I think we're playing pretty well defensively. With Shorts little things up a little better under fullback, but I'm not displeased. We just got to make some plays. We haven't made any plays. We had a chance to intercept the ball, we dropped it. Had a chance to intercept that one, they catch it for a touchdown.
Did you see any development from your offense? A quick score in the first quarter.
Well, you know, we want to be balanced offensively, be able to run and throw, and we need to do a better job running the ball in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, Shelby.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Shelby and Coach Loughran. And you can tell he's a determined man. He's ready to go. The hand signals on the far sideline. He's really ready to get this second half underway.
Well, after the Week 0 debacle, he's got to be thrilled by the way his team has come out here this evening. It's not easy. They're going to play their first 3 games on the road, and it's going to come against Peters Township, North Hills, and then the defending champions in Penn Hills. So not an easy way to start this 2019 season, but wow, so much better this week than in Week 0.
Team's back on the field for warm-ups, an additional 3 minutes back on the board. We'll take a break. We'll come back for the start of the second half here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the court. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Mr. Magic is Pittsburgh's premier car wash. We combine the latest technology, equipment, and detergents to give your car that showroom shine. Stop by any one of our 5 locations or visit us online at MrMagicCarWash.com.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
Personalized education tailored for your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
As a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university, Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me, on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practiced harder, why I play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo.
Back at Martirelli Stadium here, Week 1 of the WPIAL football season. In a Week 0, North Hills had a commanding victory. Fox Chapel, a commanding loss. 14 total yards of offense last week. They had 117 just in that first half, and they get the ball to start the second half here, Steve, only trailing by 8. A lot of confidence on that far sideline.
I agree. I think Fox Chapel has looked outstanding here today, and it's against a pretty good North Hills Indians team defensively, and they will get their first crack here to start the second half.
Nate Saul has the ball teed up at the 40. Whistle is blown and the kick underway. North Hills kicking 2. Fox Chapel, and that ball's going to bounce at the 5, and making the play to stay in bounds is Brown, and now Brown has a seam up that right sideline, up across the 30 before he's brought down. The entire Fox sideline complaining for a horse collar tackle, but I don't see a flag, and either way, it's good field position for Fox Chapel.
Well, Sam Brown almost made a terrible mistake. It looked like that ball was going to go out of bounds. They would have gotten the football probably right around the same spot. He fielded it and then was able to elude the red jerseys for a nice gain out to the 36.
That's where the Fox Chapel Foxes will set up, in their quarterback, number 16, Shane Susnick, who's looked terrific tonight. 6 of 8 in that first half passing. One was a miscommunication, the other a drop on the 2 incompletions, and he'll look to throw right away. And he'll loft one out. He's got a man, and it's just past the outstretched hand of Lorenzo Jenkins, and he's jawing with the official, saying that he was grabbed from behind, but no flag thrown there, incompletion.
Well, he got good coverage that time by Tim Sudo, the senior. I think Lorenzo Jenkins had a step on Sudo, but the ball just overthrown a little bit.
Fox Chapel just now getting set here with 15 on the play clock. 2 receivers each way. Brown stands to the right of Susnick. In motion, there goes Warner Macklin. Snap, Susnick looks to throw again, lofts one right sideline, and another great pass. Perfect timing and hauled in this time. Had a drop in the first half, but he caught that one, Ryan Crean. And that's a big grab and another first down catch. Fox Chapel already in the North Hills territory.
Well, I like the way the ball comes out of Susnick's hands. A lot of life in that right arm of his, and perfectly thrown ball to Crehan. Simple out pass.
Macklin again in motion. Give off the right side. Brown to the short side of the field. Chugs those legs into North Hills territory and up near the 47, maybe even the 46-yard line.
Well, you asked me coming into the second half. I said the Fox Chapel Foxes, I would keep throwing the football, but you still have to keep this defense honest, and you've got to run it at least some. And Sam Brown's a good candidate to do that. Good 4 yards of ground gain on first down.
Yeah, you get 4 or more, you're able to go to the run a little more often. Warner Macklin in motion left to right. Susnick drops, man in his face, gets rid of it, and a tough catch in traffic. And now can he stay on his feet? He will. Down the sideline, that's Jenkins. Inside the 10, and he's finally brought down. What a hook up there. Susnick took a hit as he got rid of the football. A tough catch in traffic, and an even better job to gain the yak yards for Lorenzo Jenkins, excuse me.
Jenkins able to stay on his feet after making the catch and almost breaking enough tackles to get to the end zone. I think it was Tomasic that came over and made a touchdown-saving tackle.
38-yard gain. Now in the gun, Susnick looks on 1st and goal. Lofts one into the back of the end zone. Some contact, and a flag flies late. Pass interference will be called here on McDonough. It looked like he ran over the receiver, Benjamin Wilk.
I think that was actually Tomasic. We'll see. Really ill-advised pass interference call, because that ball was sailing way high of the intended receiver.
And you're right, Steve, that was Tomasic. McDonough back there as well, but Tomasic, the man that knocked down Wilk.
It's going to be a half the distance to the goal.
Yes, sir.
Step off.
1st and goal from the 4. And I mean, Tom Loughran was fired up coming out of the locker room, and that entire sideline's going to be beyond fired up if they get in here. Here's that Wildcat set. It's Wecht again with the direct snap left side, and he reaches for the goal line. Touchdown, Fox Chapel. Alexander Wecht's 2nd TD run of the game. They're back within 2. It's 14-12.
And we'll see if Tom Loughran opts to try to chase points and go for 2. Again, simple Wildcat formation as Wecht gets the snap, follows the lead block, and able to get into the end zone. Boy, he is so quick and dynamic. He's got 3 carries for a total of 10 yards and 2 touchdowns. And they will go for 2 points here.
Shane Susnick talking to the official. I think he wants the ball spotted on that left hash. He does, so they're going to have to reset the play clock here, and that's going to allow Fox Chapel to line up totally how they want to. A big break their way that Susnick was really able to convince the official, hey, move this ball over here, let us get set up. And here they go. Sam Brown to the left of him, 3 receivers to the right. Susnick will drop, has time, floats one into the corner of the end zone, and that ball is right on the money. Lorenzo Jenkins hauls it in. We are tied at 14. The Wecht touchdown, Susnick to Jenkins for 2. It's a whole new ball game.
What a great pass that was by Susnick, throwing that ball to the far pylon.
Just a quick little 2-step drop, and Jenkins just has to put his hands out.
Yeah.
That ball is right there.
Right on the money. He has been right on the money all night. What an impressive opening drive by this Fox Chapel Foxes team, and we're knotted at 14 apiece.
It is official. Your one true source for all high school sports is the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and it is a great honor to be back for this season and week 1 here. Steve Nagler with me. I'm Corey Campano. I want to say thanks already to the rest of our crew here tonight. Excellent job in the camera work. Jess Levo behind the scenes. They do the real work here. And a great game we have in front of us. 10:38 left in this third quarter. We are tied at 14.
Susnack, 2 of 3 on that drive for 52 yards. He has really been very sharp here tonight. I have been extremely impressed.
3 incompletions all night. And, you see some of the throws. The one there to Jenkins, the 2-point conversion. He's been on the money all night. And now they'll kick it away. And once again, kicking it, Mike Tarasi to North Hills. And letting it bounce and go into the back of the end zone. Probably smart by Tyler Tomazik. North Hills will set up at the 25-yard line. And this little burst by the Foxes kind of calmed down the crowd on our near sideline. They've been pretty rowdy all night, and finally they have a bit of a reason to quiet down.
Well, and we'll see how North Hills now responds. You feel like there is a lot of momentum on the side of the Fox Chapel Foxes. Their defense has to be pretty fired up now that they've drawn even at 14. And we'll see if the North Hills Indians can recommand the line of scrimmage offensively.
Dylan Pauling's done a great job at commanding the troops here tonight. He'll go back to work. Again, that misdirection and drilled in the backfield. Ball is on the ground. There's a dog pile at the 10-yard line. Who has it? Official will try and get in there to decide whose ball this is. And Fox Chapel celebrating. The Foxes get a turnover on the very next play. What a hit in the backfield to jar that ball loose.
Yeah, we need to find out who made that play. It was outstanding as it came right from the blitz. And
Tomazik was the ball carrier, and he was just drilled.
Sam Brown.
That's Sam Brown.
Yep, came from that inside linebacker position and really laid the wood to Tomazik. And I think he was the one that recovered the fumble.
I think he was as well, Steve. It was really the only one that had a shot at it. So with 10:29 left in the third quarter, our first turnover of the game. It's 1st and goal for the Fox Chapel Foxes. Sam Brown made the hit, made the fumble recovery, stands to the right of Shane Susnick. And now they give it to him, and he fumbles the football. Luckily, falls right back on it, though, and it's actually going to be a gain of 1. Oh, boy. Gasping for breath, the Fox Chapel faithful, as that was just right through the hands of Sam Brown, and lucky for him, that ball bounced right back into his chest.
Well, that ball was it was a very high handoff, probably not where Sam Brown thought he was going to get it. And as you mentioned, the Fox is very fortunate to fall in a football.
2nd and goal from the 9. 3 receivers to the right. Susnick gives to Brown, short side of the field to the left. There is nowhere to go. He does a nice job to stay inbounds and get a couple yards out of that. First to the ball was big number 36, Bill Fonzie, and rode him out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 7.
Yeah, the Indians' defense really strung this out to the short side of the field, and Fonzie able to get a hand on the back of Sam Brown's jersey. So big play here on 3rd down and goal from the 7.
Ball in the left hash. Brown stands next to Susnick. He'll drop. He has time. He'll float it to the back of the end zone. Man there, and it's caught. Takes a hit, but holds onto the football. Benjamin Wilk. And the Fox Chapel Foxes have their first lead of 2019.
Well, 3 wides on the right side of that offensive formation. 2 went to the far side, to the right of the formation, and then Wilk came back in and kind of cut back in, and it just really stunned the defensive secondary of the North Hills Indians. Great throw again by Susnak.
A 7-yard pass on the hookup. Esau in for the extra point. This one is true, and the Foxes lead it 21-14. 9:43 to go in this third quarter. We'll be back for the North Hills Drive. It's the video game of the week on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me, on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused. Why I practice harder. Why I play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo.
Back at Martirelli Stadium, 21-14. What a turn of events. And not that much time taken off the clock. Just over 2 minutes into this second half of play. It was 14-6. 15 points have been put up by the Foxes, and they now lead by a score. That big hit from Sam Brown jarring the ball loose on a fumble that set up a 1st and goal for the Foxes. Their first lead of 2019. They did not score last week. They had 14 yards of offense. What a difference a week can make. And now a kickoff here from Taurasi. Bounces near the sideline, will reach the end zone, touchback, and starting at the 25 will be the North Hills Indians. And for them, Steve, they are hoping that something drastically changes from that last drive, if you want to call it, of one play.
Well, 55 seconds separated the 2 Fox Chapel touchdowns early on in this third quarter. We remarked after the first touchdown that you felt the momentum shifting. The momentum is seriously now on the side of the Fox Chapel Foxes. It's going to be really incumbent upon Dylan Pauling in this offense to kind of have a drive that at least keeps the football for a little while.
First sense of adversity right now for the North Hills Indians. Pauling in the gun, Foskey to the left of him, and a high snap. He almost lost the football. He does corral it, but he will be brought down hard in the backfield. Getting credit for that tackle will be number 56, Edward Farrell. But boy, almost another mistake for the Indians.
I think Alex Weck came from his defensive back position to get in on this as well. You see number 22 driving Pauling backwards.
Loss of 1 will bring up second and 11. It's at the 19. I said they started the 25. Obviously, got college football in my head as well. Give up the middle to Foskey, and he will cross the 20-yard line, and there's not much room there. Call it a gain of 3, and that will set up a 3rd and long. This is an interesting situation for North Hills. Not a throwing team.
No, they're not a 3rd and long team, or a team that's going to thrive in many 3rd and long situations. Pauling, as good of a runner as he is, he's not a great thrower of the football, but he will be probably called on to make a 3rd down pass here.
Had that touchdown pass in the first half, but Tommy McDonough made him look good on that play. 3rd and 8 from the 22. Man in motion. Pauling will pitch it that way. They will not throw. Tomazic gets outside, cuts it back enough for the 1st down and more. What a nice shifty run by Tyler Tomazic, and Pat Carey didn't go anywhere away from the game plan. Let's stick with what we do best.
No, and I like the play call. You know, I think 3rd down and long, Pauling throwing the football, there's a little bit more risk there. Why don't you put the ball in the hands of one of your athletic running backs, and Tomazic not only getting the first down, but really finishing that run very nicely. 13 yards on that gain.
Ball in the 35. Clock nearing 8 minutes left in this third quarter. There goes McDonough in motion. Now they'll pitch to him. McDonough looks for a block on the outside. Now he cuts it back, and great job of pursuit. Once again, Sam Brown lays a monster hit on McDonough as he crosses this line of scrimmage.
Well, we'll see here. The Fox Chapel defense did a great job, not only kind of stretching this play out, they kept on their feet. And even though Lorenzo Jenkins did not make the ultimate play. He was able to kind of stay on his feet long enough to kind of string it out and really limit that gain to just 2 yards.
2nd and 8 from the 37. Pauling sends a man in motion out to the left. Fake that way. He'll roll right, looking to throw. Floats one down. One-on-one coverage and an obvious grab of the jersey there, as it looked like number 5, Tyler Tomazic, was going to have a step. And it'll be defensive holding here almost undoubtedly against Fox Chapel.
I think that was Dorian Gomez, that left side cornerback, who just got too much of the jersey of Tomazic. And so it's going to be a 15-yard step off. It's going to be a pass interference call. And they'll put the football on the Fox Chapel side of the football field.
Really wasn't much of an argument, wasn't much of a complaint there. Just an obvious call to make, and North Hills will get it into Fox Chapel territory now. What a game we've had here in the 5A Northern Conference, Week 1. North Hills 1-0, Fox Chapel 0-1, but the Foxes lead right now by 7. Pauling in the gun, give off to the left side, and it's the first touch of the game for North Hills running back Liam Tracy. And there's really nowhere to go for Tracy on that left side. This linebacking core for Fox Chapel seems to have really stepped their game up in the second half.
They're committing more players to the line of scrimmage. You're seeing, 7, 8 players committed to the line of scrimmage. Sam Brown in there late, but Sam Brown has really been a big part of how this defense is played, especially on that big hit and forced fumble and fumble recovery of Tyler Tomazic.
Sam Brown looks like the type of player that whether he's on the offensive or defensive side of the football, he just wants to hit.
Yeah.
Just wants to have contact with someone. Pauling on a 2nd and 10. Sends Tomazic in motion. He'll roll right. Look to throw. Has time. Spots up. Now he'll look to run. A little confusion. Runs into a couple of his own guys there and eventually trips down near the 45-yard line. That play just really never developed for the Indians.
Now again, good defense by Fox Chapel. Everybody covered down the football field. It forced Pauling to have to pull it down and able to get a couple of yards on that play. It's still 3rd down and 8, and this is the part of the football field that you probably, if you're Pat Carey, you're thinking, we're in 4-down territory, right, especially down a score.
This is that situation again, though, a 3rd and 8 call for the Indians. They just tried to throw on 2nd down. Here we go. Tracy in motion. They'll pitch it to him out left. He's got a blocker in front of him. Gets to the outside. Tracy up across the 40. Enough for the first down near the 35, and a late flag flies. That's going to tack on some more yards. A nice scamper for Liam Tracy.
Here's Tracy showing his speed as he is able to get outside. Good block by Matt Hummel for the North Hills Indians, and this is going to be extra yardage tacked on for a face mask, I believe. Well, they're not. They're going to pick it up.
Wow. That's kind of surprising. It looked like Liam Tracy went down awkwardly. We'll see here. Let's watch the tail end of this run. Was it a horse collar? Was there a face mask? Reach and a grab there, and I'm not sure why it was picked up, Steve.
Yeah. They got the call right the first time.
Great job by our crew again to show you that one. Pauling sends Tomazic again out right, fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, bounces it out left, and he just couldn't get his legs going. Brought down hard by Sam Brown right around the 30-yard line. Positive yardage on the run by Pauling, but 2nd and long upcoming.
Yeah, I got about 3. Boy, the closing speed of Sam Brown. Let's watch it here as he just able to track Pauling down and drive him into the turf. Very physical player, Sam Brown.
There's no bringing you down gently when you're getting hit by Sam Brown. Linebacking core tough for Fox Chapel. I just am really impressed the way that they've responded this week, no matter how this game turns out. Pauling with a receiver to the left. Foskey stands to the left of him. There's Tracy in motion. The give is to Foskey up the middle. A little bit of a seam, a spin move up near the 25. And that's where they'll mark it. Right at the 25-yard line, a gain of 6.
Another penalty flag down on the football field.
Pauling was motioning towards the Fox Chapel side of things. Nice drive here for North Hills.
Only the second carry of the second half for Curtis Foskey after carrying the ball 9 times for 51 yards. Dead ball And a personal foul, late hit against Fox Chapel. That's going to be a big 15-yard mark off. It's going to get the ball down to the 10-yard line.
See if we can see the late hit here. Foskey's down. Maybe that push at the end there from Jenkins. Boy, Tom Loughran, that is not something you want to happen. How much did he talk about the little things coming into this week? And you're in a position where you're in the lead here, and a silly penalty pushes North Hills up to your 13-yard line. Here we go, 1st and 10. Pauling. There's Tracy. Fake, misdirection, give, and that's Tomazic. Tomazic picks up a block on the outside, but a great play to come in and make the stop. A one-handed tackle there. I believe that was Gomez. Yeah, that reached out and got Tomazic's leg.
And he got just enough of Tomazic, and I think Dorian Gomez felt like he was maybe blocked in the back. Great play call, and it looked like Tomazic was going to waltz into the end zone, but he was. Gomez was kind of blocked from behind and still able to make the play.
2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line. Foskey to the right of Pauling. Pauling, misdirection, give to Tracy. And Tracy gets back to the 10-yard line, and that's about it. Sam Brown right in the thick of things again. How many tackles is that this drive? 4?
Yeah.
He made the fumble, forced the fumble, I should say, earlier.
Well, he is a really sure tackler, and to your point a couple of plays ago, he doesn't want to just get you to the ground. He wants to hurt you a little bit. It's gonna sting when you a little bit when you wake up the next morning after playing Sam Brown.
Nearing 3 minutes in this third quarter. Big play here, 3rd and 6 from the 9. Tracy, right to left. Pauling steps back, looks to throw. Had Tracy in the flat, but he never got rid of it, and Sam Brown will pick up the sack. Liam Tracy was wide open in the flat, but Dylan Pauling didn't see him, never got rid of the football, and now this is questionable field goal range.
Well, Pauling rolled the dice. He thought maybe I can step out of this tackle and extend this play, but again, it's Sam Brown. How many times have we called his name in this second half? And when he lays the hands on you, you're not going to step out of anything. Great play athletically by Sam Brown, and it looks like the offense is going to stay on this football field.
We've got 4th and 16. Play clock's at 5 here for Pauling and company. They need to get to the 3 for a first down. They get the snap off. Pauling fakes, and he throws it back to the left. Wide open, Tracy on 4th and 16. It's a North Hills touchdown. What a play designed by Pat Carey. Liam Tracy with the grab. Dylan Pauling sold it beautifully. Touchdown, Indians.
They fake the run to the left, and all the motion goes to the right side of the football field, and that's where all the eyes went of the Fox Chapel Foxes. You see one of their defensive backs had a chance, but he lost his footing. And a great play by Liam Tracy to make the catch and scamper into the end zone. Great play call.
A 19-yard connection, and that extra point by Nate Saul. We are tied at 21. 2:05 remaining in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. Action back and forth as it's the 2019 WPIL Football Week 1 Game of the Week on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern. As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Back at Martirelli Stadium, 2:05 remaining in the third quarter. What a response for North Hills. What a conversion on 4th down. And we kind of looked at each other like, hey, that's Liam Tracy on the grab. Where was he the entire first half? Comes out for this drive and makes a huge impact.
Well, you add him to the stable of running backs, Tomasic, McDonough, Foskey, and then you throw in Tracy. We didn't see him at all in the first half. He was a big part of that game-tying drive.
He's a nice-looking player, too. Only a sophomore, 5'9", 160. He's got some nice speed. This is just a terrific night of WPIL football. Weather is beautiful, classic stadium, and we're tied at 21. And as I say that, a fluky play, an awkward kick off looked like the side of the foot from Saul. And then that was number 8, Cameron Wilson, that had it go right through his hands. That ball was spinning like crazy, and I don't think Wilson picked that up well. Lucky for him, it bounced off of his chest and out of bounds to the Fox Chapel sideline. So good field position for the Foxes at the 34-yard line.
And now it's going to be incumbent upon the Foxes offense to see how they respond after a great drive by North Hills. A really entertaining football game here this evening.
Here we go. 2 men in the backfield with Susnick. 1 receiver to the right, 2 to the left, and Susnick will give to Sam Brown on the first play, and he runs over his own lineman, tries to spin away from a tackle, but doesn't go much further than 39-yard line, but still a nice chunk of yardage on first down. Give him 5.
He is a tough runner. Not really gifted with speed, but he's got a pretty good burst. But, boy, between the tackles, he's tough to bring down.
Under 2 minutes now in the third. Back and forth action. We're tied at 21, and here's Shane Susnick. 3-step drop, looks downfield. He'll float one, and he overthrows everyone and almost threw an interception to Tommy McDonough, the free safety standing back there, and a flag is on the near side of the field, and I think this official is motioning for a holding call on Fox Chapel. Steve, did that look like another miscommunication on the route? And Susnick just kind of threw it up there.
There was nobody in a white shirt within 20 yards of this football as it landed in the defensive backfield. And the Foxes are fortunate that that ball was not intercepted. It's going to be an offensive holding call against Fox Chapel, and it looks like it will be accepted by the Indians.
Yeah, Pat Carey says move them back. Instead of 3rd and 5, it's 2nd and 15 at least. We don't know where exactly they're going to spot this, and now they place it at the 24-yard line. So this is actually 2nd and 20. That holding call was deep into the backfield, and Fox Chapel, a little uphill climb now in their own territory. 3 receivers set. Shane Susnick fakes left, now throws right. A little bubble screen and plenty of room after the catch, but the ball on the turf and fallen on again by Fox Chapel. Ben Wilk took a big hit as he crossed the 30. And Crehan fell on the football.
Well, that was a big hit. Great look off to the left side of that defensive formation, and Wilk gets hit from behind, and then it kind of catapults him into another defender. And fortunate for Fox Chapel to hold on to that football.
That was the younger brother, Chase Foskey, that made that hit, and that's technique at its finest. Helmet on the football. Almost worked out for the Indians. 3rd and 7. Big play for the Foxes from their own 37. Susnick, jet sweep, and Wecht is going to be brought down in the backfield. Pressure off that left end by big number 51, Chris Kopp. Forced Wecht to the turf. And now a 4th down for Fox Chapel.
Well, we've called Kopp's name on a couple of occasions, and well, it almost looked like he tripped him. He almost looked like he kind of stuck his foot out. It caught Wecht in the heel, but good play by Kopp to kind of string that play out. He's made a couple of nice blocks on the offensive line as well.
That'll be the end of the third quarter as Fox Chapel is going to let this thing run down. Don't go anywhere. We are tied at 21, and we'll be back for the 4th. It's the video game of the week here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me, on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused. Why I practiced harder. Why I play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo.
Tired of a dirty car? Mr. Magic Car Wash will have your vehicle looking new again in just minutes, even those tough-to-clean wheels. Try us out at any one of our 5 convenient South Hills locations for a car wash you won't soon forget.
Mr. Magic Car Wash. Clean, shiny, and dry every time.
Fourth quarter just about to kick off here from Martirelli Stadium. Corey Campano, Steve Noger with you. Shelby Cassesi on our sidelines tonight. 21-21. The score between the Foxes of Fox Chapel, the Indians of North Hills. And the Fox Chapel Foxes have a 4th and 7 from their own 37-yard line, and the offense is on the field. Out of the quarter break, and a great job. A great call by Coach Tom Locker, and he goes with the hard count, and he gets the entire defensive line of North Hills to jump off.
So this is interesting, Corey, because it was 4th and 7. This is not going to give them a third down. It's still 4th and 2. This is still a huge risk for the Fox Chapel Foxes, but a lot of faith in this offense.
Think he's been around a while, Tom Lochran.
Yep.
Coming out of the quarter, has the wherewithal to call that play. Gets the Indians to jump, and now 4th and 2, and I think he's going to take a timeout. He is. Fox Chapel will discuss some things. Reminder that coming up after the game, it's the WPIL Football Scoreboard Show with Don Rebel from the Excella Health Studios at the HSSN World Headquarters with all the scores and recaps from Week 1 of the 2019 WPIL football season. Don't miss the WPIL Football Scoreboard Show after the game, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
But Corey, it's nice to have a senior quarterback that knows cadences, knows how to get defenses to jump offside. I think Coach Lochran was like, all right, now this is getting serious. Now it's instead of 4th and 7, where he probably, I don't know if they were going to run a play 4th and 7. I think maybe try to draw him off sides and then call that timeout to see, what's our best play? What's our best, play for 4th and short?
And I think if they didn't jump off sides, it was always in the mind, take that timeout. I agree with you, and that's a good timeout to take there. Is now they'll set it up. Offense still on the field. It's at the 42-yard line here on the near hash. Susnick, another hard count. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Indians standing pat for now. And Susnick will drop, and he's going to pooch kick it. And he kicked it into his own man. It bounced off the back of his own player, Sam Brown. That could not have ended up worse for Fox Chapel. Instead of going for it and turning it over on downs, watch this. Susnick takes a step back and punts it right into the backside of Sam Brown. And running to the football and grabbing it for North Hills, I believe, was big number 72, Nick Peterson.
Well, and
it's at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, just a bad break and not well executed. If you're a left-footed punter, you've got to get Brown on the other side of that formation.
That just was a total mishap for Fox Chapel and a big opportunity for North Hills. And look at this trick play, and it works to perfection. A pitch to the right for North Hills to John Green, the 5'8" freshman, and he lofts it to his lone receiver out there for North Hills, making the catch and scoring the touchdown. I believe was Luke Hulbert, and it is. What a change of events. 29 yards on the score, and how about this throw from the freshman?
Well, put it right on the money. Just a great trick play. I think Fox Chapel probably a little bit stunned after that poorly executed punt on 4th down, and it surprised them.
Extra point on the way and good. Perfect on the night so far is Nate Zoll. It's North Hills 28, Fox Chapel 21. That was just remarkable what happened there, Steve. We'll keep it right here as we change possessions. The kick into the back of running back Sam Brown. Ball goes all the way back to the 29-yard line. North Hills takes over there, and then one play. We'll see it again.
Yeah, here's the punt again. With Susnack being left-footed, you've got to move Sam Brown to the right side of that formation. You can't have him there to obstruct the kick, and then one play later, here's the trick play. What a great pass by John Green. Finds Hulbert back behind the defense, and he's able to withstand contact and get in the end zone. And it is a 28-21 North Hills lead.
North Hills has had some things happen that maybe are head-scratching for them, but they are in a situation now where they were down 21-14 and all of a sudden lead 28-21. a fortunate play to go their way on a 4th and 2 for Fox Chapel. And it turns into one play later, which, by the way, was an excellent play call from Pat Carey and crew. They really surprised the Fox Chapel Foxes. They are back on top 13 seconds into this fourth quarter. Here's Nate Saul for the boot. A liner that's taken there at his own 15. Now up across the 30, and he takes a hit right away. That was Sam Brown. And once again, the tackle made by Max Badamo, and he was fired up.
And again, we see the clock still running. It's the second time we've seen that happen after a kick. So they're going to have to correct this here, and Tom Loughran has noticed it.
They're going to have to reset that, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what a change of events here in this third quarter and fourth quarter. Second half, Fox Chapel comes out, scores the first 2 touchdowns, the first 15 points of the second half, and takes a 7-point lead. And their first lead of the season, and then it's short-lived because North Hills scoring a couple touchdowns in just about 2 minutes and 18 seconds to recapture the lead, 28-21.
I don't think they ever added time on here to the running clock, and now the officials will discuss that. Remember to check out the Rebel Yell podcast featuring our own Don Rebel as he talks WPIL football every week with new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Also follow Don on Twitter at @TheDonRebel. North Hills players trying to pump up their sideline now as they have momentum back into the lead. Steve, I feel like we've said they have the momentum. They have the momentum. I feel like that's alternated quite a few times here tonight, whether it be North Hills or Fox Chapel.
And they put 17 seconds back on this fourth quarter clock, back to 11:43.
And Fox Chapel takes over from their own 31. They now trail by 7. Shane Susnick in the gun, fakes to Brown, he'll look to throw. Pressure in his face, and he's dropped. A big sack in the backfield, and bursting in there to make the tackle was David Lucas. And he's still celebrating out there.
Now that was a secondary sack. There was no place to throw the football for Susnick. Had several seconds to try to get rid of this football, and Lucas came free, able to make the sack and a loss of 6 yards.
2nd and 16 now from the 25. Brown to the left of Susnick will get the handoff out of the gun, and North Hills is going to swallow him up. Nowhere to run for Brown. The most notable man in there for the hit was Tim Sudo. But red jerseys all around, and I mean, as soon as Sam Brown touches the football here, just nowhere to go.
No, and now we're seeing the momentum that North Hills has on the defensive side of the football. All of a sudden, they're fired up like we saw Fox Chapel fired up in the third quarter.
3rd and 19 from the 22-yard line for Fox Chapel. Susnick taking his time with a bunch set to the right. He'll drop. Look to throw, has time, floats it over the middle. It's caught by his tight end, Crean, and Crean is up across the 35 all the way to the 37. A nice hookup, but he's still going to be about 4, maybe 5 yards short of that yard to gain. They'll call it 4th and 4. Nice job by Susnick to stand in there.
Yep, stood tall and delivered a great throw right from the ear over to Crean. Couldn't break free from the tackle of Holbert, and here they are again on the football field on 4th down.
4th and 4. Ball at the 36. Again, they're taking their time. They look to Coach Loughran for the play call. We'll see what happens here as the clock winding down, under 10 seconds left on the play clock. Wouldn't expect they try that punt again. Down to 4, 3, 2, and they're going to snap it. Susnick drops. He'll look to throw, and he doesn't have enough time. He floats it with his left hand, and it's intercepted. Making the interception is number 24, Curtis Foskey. And it was right at the line of scrimmage where they were at, so really just an unfortunate hit on the stats for Shane Susnick. He tried to make a play,
Well,
I think he threw it with his left hand.
On fourth down, you might as well let it go. Good job getting pressure from that left side of the defensive formation by Nova Zedliak, that 6'7", 240-pound defensive lineman. And another turnover for the Foxes.
1st and 10 now for North Hills from the 37. They're trying to add to the lead as Foskey gets the first touch off the right side, and he's brought down right at that 35-yard line, gain of 2. Once again, Sam Brown on the tackle.
And right now, if you're Pat Carey, you're thinking utilize this play clock, run it down to 5 seconds before you snap that football, and let's keep this football on the ground. Up 7 with just over 9 minutes to go.
It will be 2nd and 8 for North Hills. No real sense of urgency now. They can run this clock. Man in motion, McDonough gets the pitch, stringing it out, the Foxes, but McDonough gets to the edge. McDonough down the sideline, inside the 15, before he's finally brought down. A big hit from Justin Rice, but North Hills will set up in a big spot here. This will be 1st and 10 from the 11.
Well, we haven't called Tommy McDonough's name an awful lot in the second half. This time he kind of takes the ball on that jet sweep type of formation, and he's able to get to the edge. That sprinter speed he's got, he is tough to catch from behind, and gives a hit at the end of that play. And stays in bound.
From the 11, Foskey next to Pauling. Tracy in motion, misdirection to give to Tomasic. Tomasic up the middle, and he cuts back towards the middle of the field. Positive yardage. Give him 4 up to the 7-yard line, maybe the 6 even, maybe 4 or 5 yards here. Either way, 2nd and manageable for the North Hills Indians. And you see that time running down. We're going to be under 8 minutes, and a score here would make this a troublesome comeback attempt for the Foxes.
Yeah, any score is going to make it a 2-score football game. But right now, if you're Fox Chapel, your number one thought defensively is keep this Indians team out of the end zone.
Here we go. Tomasic in motion. Pauling fakes, keeps it himself, gets outside, breaks the tackle, he's into the end zone. Dylan Pauling, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. This one from 7 yards out, and it's now 34-21. North Hills. Extra point attempt here. Might be halted with 7:35 left to go. We'll wait until after the extra point here to see the breakdown, or I should say we'll know before the extra point of the breakdown of what the officials are discussing here. There's still some talk going on in the huddle. Fox Chapel saying that it's against North Hills, and it is an unsportsmanlike penalty, so that's going to push their extra point attempt all the way back out to the 22-yard line. Long extra point try, 4 for 4 to this point, is Nate Saul. Pauling the holder. Saul the right-footed kick. Ball will be off from the 25. Saul, big leg, got under it, and it is good. A boot. It only counts for 1, but it's a big one, 35-21. And now let's send it down to the sidelines for an update with Shelby Cassesi.
21. Guys, North Hills is pretty much notorious for being a running team predominantly, but with the graduation of running back Tyler Brennan over the offseason, he had 18 touchdowns last year for North Hills. They were really looking for Dylan Pauling, the quarterback, to emerge this year and get the passing game going. Well, tonight you can see with 3 touchdowns, especially longer touchdowns, and he even saw one passing on 4th and 16. You can pretty much see this North Hills passing game emerging. It'll certainly add an extra dynamic to this offense this year if they can keep it going, guys.
Thank you, Shelby. Good stuff there, and good stuff on the North Hills sideline where Shelby was standing. Some commotion behind her, and for obvious reasons, they are pumped up now. A 14-point lead. They have scored the last 3 scores of this football game, and Dylan Pauling got his second rushing touchdown of the game there, Steve.
And every time you think Dylan Pauling is going to be caught up to or tackled from behind, he's got, this slight second gear that he's able to kind of shift into, and we've already seen him run out of tackles. That time looked like somebody from Fox Chapel was going to maybe creep up and catch him from behind, but he was able to kick it in gear and get another touchdown run of 7 yards.
Kick now from the 40. And it's a good boot, sending the returner all the way back to the 5-yard line and up across the 20, and taking a hit was the return man, Zidane Thomas, and pumped up after that tackle, and why not, was number 14, TJ Legler. Big hit from the junior, and Fox Chapel, Steve, it's obvious here, 7:28 left on the board. You need to score this possession.
Yeah, you need to score, and you need to do it relatively quickly because you're now down 2 touchdowns. They have shown that they've got the capacity and capability to do it offensively. They've looked great at times. Shane Susnack is 11 of 16 for 173 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
3 wide receiver set. Brown in the backfield. Susnack will drop. It's a screen to Brown. Brown on the left side. He gets positive yardage, and he lost the football, but the whistle was blown. Whistle was blown from the far side, and Fox Chapel will hold on to possession, but again, I don't know if that ball wasn't out early. Sam Brown did not look like he touched.
Good screen pass here. First time we've seen a screen here tonight, and Novo Sedeliak, I think that ball was out. Yep, that ball was out. Not a great call by the side judge.
Wondering how he saw that from his angle as well, but nevertheless, 2nd and 7 for the Foxes. Quick hitter out the Wilk, and it goes through his hands. Nice job by Liam Tracy. Come up and make the hit there, and Wilk couldn't haul it in.
Liam Tracy, only a sophomore. They have him on the roster. It's 5'9", and he's a bigger kid than that. Taller, lankier, able to get up in Benjamin Wilk's business as he tried to pull down that Susnack pass.
3rd and 7 now, and a big play for the Foxes. 6:47 remaining in this one. Motioning to the left goes Brown. Susnack looks to throw. Flag flies, and he hooks up with Jenkins, but this might be coming back. A first down for Fox Chapel, but this could very easily be an illegal formation call against the Foxes. They had multiple people moving in the backfield, and the officials are going to discuss this one. As Susnack threw another nice ball out to the left to Lorenzo Jenkins, but that is the call, an illegal shift. And now it goes from a first down completion up near the 40 all the way back to the 19-yard line, and it's now a 3rd and 12. That's a horrible mistake there for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, and that's part of what they were dealing with last week. Just mental mistakes. Players running up. They're in the wrong position.
Now a tough situation here as Susnack will look to throw. Has time, looks down to the middle, and it's caught in traffic. Jenkins makes the catch up across the 35. Susnack just stepped right up and threw it with confidence again. A nice little hook up there for Fox Chapel.
Well, Susnack had 2 receivers that were in the general vicinity, but it was Lorenzo Jenkins, that came down with it. I'm not sure he was throwing to Jenkins. He had another player behind him, but it was a great catch by Jenkins and a 17-yard pass and catch.
Outside again, he goes to Jenkins, but it's over his head. And a diving effort on the backside by McDonough, but the pass fell short of him, and an incompletion for a 2nd and 10.
Oh, I like this. Lorenzo Jenkins, short-armed that maybe a little bit, alligator arms, but other than that, he has been outstanding tonight. He's made plays on both sides of the football for this Fox Chapel team. They got a gem in Lorenzo Jenkins.
2nd and 10 from the 37, and whistle blown before the start of this play. That's going to be a timeout taken by North Hills. First one of the second half for Pat Carey.
Yeah, I think he had 12 players out on the football field for that 2nd and 10 play.
Reminder coming up after the game, it's a WPIL football scoreboard show with Don Rebel from the Excella Health Studios at the HSSN World Headquarters with all the scores and recaps from Week 1 of the 2019 WPIL football season. Don't miss the WPIL football scoreboard show after the game, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Corey Campano, Steve Nagler, Shelby Cassesi, our on-field reporter, and all the crew here. Great job to everyone.
No, the video crew has just been
they're
outstanding.
They're always
tonight.
on.
They always are. We have had some great replays tonight, showing what were fumbles that weren't fumbles. That should have been fumbles.
Out of the timeout come the Foxes. Susnick with a hard count, and now he'll drop. Has time, floats one down the sideline, one-on-one. He's got Jenkins, and it just trickles in and out of his fingertips. That ball was there again from Susnick, and Jenkins wants that one back.
Yeah, folks, I can't tell you how good of a throw that was. That was as good as you're going to see a throw made at any level. He really caught Jenkins in stride down the sidelines, and Jenkins just couldn't haul it in. That's a ball that the sophomore really needs to come down with.
We've said it numerous times tonight, but it's worth noting. It's a strong throw from Susnick, and it's very accurate as well. He's a nice quarterback. Drop again, 3rd down. Man wide open, and it's dropped again. And that one, a situation where the receiver was looking to run before he had it. Warner Macklin, who was a force in the first half. And, that's an easy 3rd down conversion that falls by the wayside.
Yeah, just simply took his eye off the football. He had a lot of room out there, and you could tell he was looking to see who he might be able to elude or break a tackle and go the distance, but you got to secure that football first.
Now it's 4th and 10, and an obvious go-for-it situation now with 6:03 left in the game. Susnick with Brown to the left. He'll stay back to block. Susnick floats it down the middle of the field, and Macklin catches that one. A much tougher grab, but Warner Macklin certainly makes up for it. A huge completion for Fox Chapel. They're not out of it yet. They need a score on that big hookup that sets them all the way into North Hills territory. They'll mark it at the 27.
37-yard pass and catch, and another throw that's right on the dot for Macklin, and he makes a catch, able to drag tacklers down to the 26-yard line.
That was great coverage by Hulbert. Just a better throw by Susnick, and he'll look Macklin's way again, and it's caught. Pass over top of that first wave of coverage, and Macklin gets the foot down right around the 10-yard line. Another little hook up there. Fox Chapel trying to pull this to within a one-score game.
Right over the back shoulder of Warner Macklin, and he's able to get the feet down. Would have been good in the NFL as well. 15 completions for Susnack for 244 yards.
1st and 10 from the 13. Susnack with Brown to the left. Drops, looks to throw to the left, floats over the middle, has a man. It's caught by Wilk. He's inside the 10 and then brought down from behind around the 7-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the completion. And another one for Susnack. Wilk had that last touchdown for Fox Chapel. He's been a nice mix-in receiver for the Foxes. 2nd and 5 from the 8-yard line. Brown now to the right of Susnick. Man in motion is Warner Macklin. Susnick drops, looks to the left side, floats one into the back of the end zone, up and making the catch. Touchdown, Lorenzo Jenkins. A ball in a perfect spot, and then Jenkins gets that right foot down. What a little hook up there. Fox Chapel's not going away. This is now a one-score game.
Well, you're not going to get a better throw again than this. Just picture perfect with the pass. Put it only where Lorenzo Jenkins could make a play, able to go up over Tracy and get that right foot down. Just absolutely perfect.
He saw Bond for the extra point, and it's true. North Hills 35, Fox Chapel 28. Exactly 5 minutes left in the game. We'll take a break come back for the North Hills Drive. It's the 2019 Week 1 here in the WPIAL Football Video Game of the Week on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
A personalized education tailored for your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
As a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university, Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
Five minutes left in this one. Corey Campano, Steve Nagler. Well, what a game here in Week 1. You asked for a 5A Northern Conference matchup. You look at the conference and you say, oh, yeah, there's some serious competition there. And nothing against Fox Chapel, but they're probably not one of the teams that are being talked about, and especially after Week 0. They have come to play here tonight. Another touchdown pass for Susnick. It was an incredible catch from Jenkins. And now this squib kick that Tommy McDonough has trouble handling. He's going to be tackled back near the 5-yard line.
And somebody from Fox Chapel ended up with the football. I think it might have been Justin Rice. And actually, it's Dane Thomas. But they had already whistled that football dead. But, well, bigger picture, not a good job by Tommy McDonough fielding that football. By the time he picked it up, he had a lot of white jerseys to contend with, only able to get the ball out to the 7-yard line. So big play by the coverage team of the Fox Chapel Foxes. If they can get a 3-and-out here, they're going to get great field position to try to tie this football game.
Here we go. From their own 7, Dylan Pauling sends McDonough in motion. He'll keep it himself up the middle, and a nice little seam there for Dylan Pauling to get up across the 10 and near the 15-yard line. Going to be brought down at the 14. Nice pickup of 7 yards there. Dylan Pauling, very composed for a quarterback that runs quite often. Not erratic whatsoever. You see there, good vision.
Stepping out of tackles. That was going to be a run all the way from the quarterback, and able to get great yardage on first down.
Fox Chapel, as you see there in the upper left of your screen, the 2 timeouts remaining. Pauling sends Tomasic in motion, the fake, and now he'll keep it up the middle, enough for the first down and more, as he is up to the 23-yard line. Are they going to mark this short?
No, he got to the 18. I think he got enough for the first down, but yeah, they're going to move the sticks.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sure looked like there was enough there from Dylan Pauling, just a late reaction. But you said it, Steve, ball was on the 18. Man in motion behind Pauling, and again, it's him on the keeper. Sam Brown reads it nicely and makes the tackle, but not before Pauling gets up to the 20 and maybe even the 21-yard line.
Well, Pauling, 16 carries now, 15 yards, just again, kind of faked the misdirection and then went as far as Sam Brown would let him. Got about 3 yards on first down.
In Week 0, Dylan Pauling had 15 carries for 72 yards, and he scored 3 times. He's got 2 more here tonight. He threw a touchdown, but maybe the more impressive throw, John Green, the freshman, that was one heck of a throw earlier as well. Nearing 3 minutes, 2nd and 7. Pauling, pitch to the outside. Fox Chapel's all over it. No room at all for McDonough. Reading the play from that cornerback position was Chris Rogalski, and then Jenkins cleaned it up. And a whistle blows. Fox Chapel will take timeout number 2 with exactly 3 left.
Yeah, that's a great timeout called by Tom Loughran as they try to run their version of the jet sweep, and no dice from this Fox Chapel defense. And really, regardless of how this game ends, This has been a remarkable turnaround for the Foxes. I think they've, at times, even though they've given up 35 points, at times they've looked pretty good defensively. They really run to the football. Sam Brown is going to be one of the top middle linebackers in the WPIL this year. There's no doubt about that.
And have given up 35 points, but short field a couple times. Yep. And North Hills known for the long, sustaining drives. That's hard to stop at times, too. They've been impressive.
Well, big play here. 3rd down and 11 from the 17-yard line. We've documented that this is not a throwing football team, North Hills. And so we've seen them try to run the ball on 3rd and long. They've been successful at converting 3rd and longs. We'll see.
Do you trust your defense here? Do you run here and maybe make them use that timeout? On the Fox Chapel side, we'll see. Pauling will hand it off, and up the middle it's McDonough. Gets near the 20. Sam Brown is there again for a stop, and I think smartly here, Tom Loughran will use that 3rd one, force a 4th down, force a punting situation, and you can get the ball back, and, hey, you're more of the throwing offense, and Susnick has been on. There's plenty of time here.
Well, no doubt, and when you're a throwing offense, you can move down the football field very, very quickly. We've seen it. This has been a quick strike offense at times, Fox Chapel tonight. And so burning that timeout, I think what you're doing is you're just equipping your offense with as much time as they can get. You can certainly stop the clock with by spiking the ball, getting out of bounds. The clock is certainly going to stop anytime you get a 1st down while they reset the change. So plenty of time on this 4th quarter clock for Fox Chapel to get this tying score.
And that's going to be Lorenzo Jenkins that comes back to stand deep for the punt return. Tommy McDonough, the punter for North Hills, stands just outside his 5-yard line. He's at the 7. Jenkins waiting right at midfield. Little muff of the snap, but McDonough gets the punt away. It's a low little line drive and takes a North Hills bounce into Fox Chapel territory. Still rolling there, and Indians going to down it right at the 41-yard line. So great field position for Fox Chapel and 2:43 remaining.
38-yard punt. And pretty successful, considering that the ball was not handled cleanly by McDonough. But to your point, Fox Chapel in pretty good stead here with the ball sitting on their own 41-yard line and 2:43 to go in this 4th quarter.
As a broadcaster, can't really ask for anything better than this. And we've said it enough tonight, but it really is true. You got football back, week 1. It's the fall season right around the corner, and a beautiful night tonight. About perfect temperature. We are in the best spot in the house here. We are right at the 50-yard line at Martirelli Stadium, classic stadium here in the WPIL. Honored to be here in Fox Chapel, in a position to try and tie this game. Shane Susnick drops, little 3-step drop. Now will step up, gets away from pressure, running and dragging a tackler with him. But a nice job to hold on to that jersey by number 77, Ron Novosedliak, limiting Susnick to a 3-yard gain and, more importantly, keeping the clock moving.
Well, Novosedliak did it the right way. He didn't grab him up by the shoulder pads. You got him down low and dragged him from the bottom of the jersey. It's not a penalty.
And a little movement here on the right side. I think that's the tight end. That was number 44, Ryan Crean. So that 3-yard gain is negated, and add 2 more on the negative side to that. So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 39. Now Fox Chapel trying to regather themselves here. They've shown time and time again on 3rd and 4th and longs to be able to convert via the throw. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Here's Susnick. Time. Lofts one-on-one down the sideline, and the ball's right there in a grab for Ben Wilk. What a throw from Susnick. Fox Chapel in serious business now. That connection goes all the way to the 25-yard line.
36 yards on that pitch and catch, and another dime dropped by Susnick. Just perfect down that right sideline.
Now plenty of time here for the Foxes. Susnick drops, lofts one out to his running back, Brown. Brown being pressured there, but he breaks a tackle up across the 25 and falls forward near the 23-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 2.
Susnack just 5 yards shy of a 300-yard passing game. Just a very flat pass out to Brown, letting him do some work in the open field. He breaks a couple of tackles and able to get 2 yards.
Nearing a minute left in this ball game. No timeouts left. Fox Chapel down 7. Susnack drops. He'll loft it towards the corner of the end zone. Wilk is there, just falls to the turf. Another throw in a perfect position, and Ben Wilk gave it a great effort. It just fell short.
Well, and I think Ben Wilk just fell out of stride. He was really just trying to stay up as long as he could to try to make this catch, and I think just the fact that he was falling down a little bit too soon, boy, that was another great pass by Susnack. And
another
a ball that
tight
really
coverage play again. That ball was just there from Susnack.
Ball that should have been caught.
I thought that Foskey had a nice positioning there on Wilk, but when that ball's thrown like that, it's tough to defend. Timeout taken here from North Hills with 1:05 left in the game. A one-score game, 35-28 in favor of the Indians. This has been back and forth all game. Let's quickly run down here. A 9-yard touchdown run from Dylan Pauling got us started. It was an answer on a 1-yard run from Wecht. A 38-yard passing play in the second quarter from Pauling to Tommy McDonough. That was our score at halftime, 14-6, after one of the missed extra points there for Fox Chapel. And Fox Chapel got out to a great start. They tied the game at 14 on a 4-yard touchdown run by Wecht. A 2-point conversion play converted. Then a 7-yard passing play after the turnover from Susnack to Wilk, 21-14. North Hills then tied it up on the John Green passing play after the botched punt. And then in this fourth quarter, we have traded scores. North Hills the first two, Fox Chapel the most recent. They now have a 3rd and 8 out of the timeout. Ball to 23. Susnack on the left hash, floats one towards the middle, and his tight end, Crean, is complaining that he was grabbed from behind. The ball fell incomplete. We'll get a better look here. Steve, it looked like that might have been a contact play there. Crean might have an argument.
Yeah, we'll see if he was maybe being dragged from behind. It looked like he didn't give much of a, we didn't get a great look at it, but he didn't give much of a complaint.
And here we go. This is the ball game, 4th and 8 from the 23. Fox Chapel needs to convert. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Shane Susnack drops. Little bubble screen, and it's through the hands of Ben Wilk and incomplete. Shane Susnack looked left and threw right, and Ben Wilk, who's had a strong game receiving the football, had that one go through his hands. North Hills is going to escape. Let's watch it again. Susnack looks to his running back, Brown, and then throws it back to the right through the hands of Wilk. There was green grass in front of him. That would have been enough for the first down had he run forward. What a tough loss here for Fox Chapel.
Well, Shane Susnack, he can hold his head high. 19 of 31, 295 yards, those 2 touchdowns. He had that 1 interception, but did not get a lot of help at times from his receivers. Probably 5 or 6 different drops here tonight.
Kneeling the football now, the North Hills Indians, and I don't know if you got a chance to see there, Steve. After Susnack threw the ball, he took a big hit. 2 North Hills players there to help him up, and they kind of patted him on the back like, hey, you got us tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to come out on top of. Boy, what a nice game from the quarterback, Shane Susnack, and what a nice win for North Hills.
Yep.
They hang on here at home in week 1. They had a great rushing attack, balanced attack. Got some help when needed. A few drops really helped, but Dylan Pauling was a great game manager here tonight. And a tough loss for Tom Lochner in the squad as Dylan Pauling kneels it down, and North Hills moves to 2-0 on the season, and they win this one 35-28 over the Fox Chapel Foxes. An impressive victory. Great time calling it here, as they're going to meet at midfield for the handshake. Game ends 35-28. We'll take a break and come back. It's 2019 Week 1 Video Game of the Week here in the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
What can you expect at Seton Hill University?
An opportunity to transform the future.
A leader in innovative and mobile technology.
A personalized education tailored for your interests and your goals.
A welcoming community.
A big step up to your dream career.
as a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts university. Seton Hill pushes your education, your abilities, and your career to a higher level. Seton Hill University. This way up for progress, possibility, and a brighter future.
Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234. Excella Health wants to know, how can we help you today? Can we help you find a doctor? Schedule a same-day appointment. Choose just the right service for your health concern? As your healthcare partner, Excella offers hundreds of primary care and specialty doctors, along with outpatient testing, rehab, and nationally recognized heart care, surgery, and orthopedics. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org or call 1-877-771-1234.
Tired of a dirty car? Mr. Magic Car Wash will have your vehicle looking new again in just minutes, even those tough-to-clean wheels. Try us out at any one of our 5 convenient South Hills locations for a car wash you won't soon forget.
Mr. Magic Car Wash. Clean, shiny, and dry every time.
35-28 our final. The North Hills Indians, the victory over the Fox Chapel Foxes. What a game here. And Steve Nagler is going to break this down on our scoring recap for you. Let's get it going.
A couple of touchdowns in the first quarter. North Hills got on the board first, a 9-yard touchdown run by Dylan Pauling, 7-0 North Hills. Fox Chapel responds right back, a 1-yard touchdown run on 4th and 1 by Alex Weck. They missed the extra point. They're down 7-6. North Hills gains the lead 14-6 on a 38-yard pass play from Pauling to McDonough. Fox Chapel scores the first touchdown of the second half, a 4-yard run by Alex Weck. That 2-point conversion had tied the game at 14. Fox Chapel would take their first lead of the season. A great pass by Susnack to Wilk, 21-14 Fox Chapel at the time. But North Hills, 3 straight touchdowns. Dylan Pauling on 4th down, a great pass over to Liam Tracy. It tied the game for 21-all. John Green, after the fumble, Luke Hulbert able to, on one play, score and give the North Hills the lead back 28-21, and then Pauling at 7-yard run that gave North Hills a 14-point lead. Fox Chapel able to score the final touchdown of the game. It wasn't enough, but a great 7-yard pass from Susnack to Lorenzo Jenkins. 35-28, your final. Some numbers for you at the end of this game. The North Hills Indians actually they did outgain Fox Chapel, but not by much. 363 yards of total offense to 332 yards for Fox Chapel. As leading the way was Dylan Pauling. He was 3 of 7 through the air and a couple of touchdown passes, and actually ran the ball 18 times for 47 yards. Leading rusher for the North Hills Indians, Curtis Foskey, 12 carries and 62 yards. For the Fox Chapel Foxes, it was a great night for Shane Susnack. 19 of 31, 295 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and that interception. And not much of significance on the ground. Sam Brown was the leading ground gainer for the Foxes. He had 31 yards on 10 carries. Once again, your final score, North Hills 35, Fox Chapel 28.
And a great game it was, and that score is very indicative of what we saw here tonight. Big thanks to Shelby Cassesi for the sideline updates. Big thanks to the rest of our Trib HSSN crew, camera crew on point tonight. Jess Levo, the producer behind the scenes. For my partner, Steve Nagler, I'm Corey Campano signing off. North Hills' a 7-point victory in Week 1. It was the video game of the week here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.